I teased that former Wolves goalkeeper Matt Murray was alongside Joe Shannon at King Power Stadium. How are you, Matt?
I'm good, thank you, Faye, and yeah, how are you, unfortunately?
Don't ask me how I am. Let's just not talk about it. I've got a face like a smack behind, I'm not going to lie. I could have done without having to be on the radio to talk about it as well, but there we go. That is my job, and hopefully I've been impartial. Listen, these two teams might wish they were playing each other under very different circumstances, and that this was a bit of a shootout even to survive, but you know, their fate was sealed very early on in the season. So what are we going to see today?
Joe and I were chatting about that before, and look, it's either going to be one or the other, isn't it? Both of these teams are obviously not very good in front of goal, so maybe it's going to be a boring one, but I'm hoping for both teams that aren't great defensively, so there's going to be the latter, you know, that the teams are going to go for it, get out there, play, try and entertain these fans. Southampton have bought a good number here. Yes, there's a fair few empty seats here in Leicester, but look, it could be the Jamie Vardy show. That's what people want to see. You saw Kevin De Bruyne scoring against Wolves. That's his sort of send-off for Man City, and for Jamie Vardy, he'll be thinking, right, against his Southampton team, I can go and get those goals, put that penalty miss right, and go and get over 200 goals. So I'm hoping for an open game, teams trying to have a bit of momentum going, you know, with them going down, a bit of positivity. So yeah, let's see how it plays out. But both these teams, really are struggling.
Yeah, the teams are in the tunnel at the minute. So just a quick one, Matt, on the managerial situation at both clubs. Ruud van Nistelrooy seems like he wants to stay. Wonder whether he'll get the chance. And Simon Rusk has done okay as interim at Southampton. What do you think both clubs are going to do in the summer?
I think they'll both be different men in charge at the start of next season, even going into the summer. I think for Southampton, they'll probably make the appointment even before the end of the season. I think Rusk has done a decent job, but I don't think he'll get it full time. I think it'll be a decent name. They'll use that to recruit, and I think with Van Nistelrooy as well. Again, mentioning my old club, Wolves, look at the bounce they have. There's been no bounce here with Leicester, so I think they'll make a change as well to try and help recruit and everything else. So I think, changes in both dugouts for me.
Well, the bugler has sounded and the players are walking out here at King Power Stadium. So, over on Talksport right now, Adrian Durham's going to take you around the grounds for the Premier League and the last day in League One and League Two. Loads to play for there as well. Right now, though, at King Power Stadium, it's Leicester against Southampton. Can Saints finally surpass Derby's points total? We'll find out in the company of former Wolves keeper Matt Murray and your commentator, Joe Shannon.
Thank you, Faye, and that is definitely the goal for Southampton between now and the end of the season. 4 games to go. They still need one more point to avoid being the joint worst team in Premier League history. It has been a miserable campaign for the Saints, likewise for Leicester, who ironically are only 7 points better off in 19th position. Both teams have changed managers. Southampton have changed managers twice. It's not worked at either club, and both will be back in the Championship once again next season. Leicester have lost their last 9 Premier League home matches by an aggregate score of 22-0. How the home fans would love just a goal today, particularly if it were to come for Jamie Vardy, who is nearing the end of his long and storied career at the King Power Stadium. It has the feel of one of those matches that could go either way. The teams could play out as drab an encounter as you might expect, or they both might go for it, and we could end up with an unlikely end of season thriller. I guess we'll find out over the next 90 minutes, Matt Murray.
Yeah, I hope it is that an entertaining one, but I think it just it shows you that both these teams are trying not to have records for being the worst, if you like. You don't want to be 10 games in a row where you're not scored at home, being Leicester City. Southampton, as you say, they want to go and get that point. They were relegated with 7 games to go, and these are professional footballers who've worked really hard to become Premier League players. It's not easy. It's not easy having a career, let alone playing in the Premier League. So they'll be hurting. Their pride will be, taking a big dent in them. And so they're going to want to go out there. They'll be playing for futures. Some of these will be trying to show, I should stay in the Premier League. Come and get me. Or to the new managers, you need to keep me. So there is still a fair bit riding on this. And you mentioned it there, Jamie Vardy. He'll want 2 goals, won't he, to try and break that. You get to 200.
He's nearly there. Missed a penalty in the defeat away at Wolves last weekend. Leicester today with Stelarczyk in goal, Justin, Fass, Cody and Thomas at the back, and Didi and Skip holding, McAtee, El Kudus and Ayew behind Vardy up front. And for Southampton, Ramsdale's the goalkeeper, Harwood Bellis, Bednarek and Stevens the centre halves, Walker-Peters and Manning the wing-backs. Downs and Ugachukwu in midfield. Fernandes and Sulemana either side of Stewart up front. We'll keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in from the final day on League 1 and 2. After all the incredible drama we brought you in the Championship earlier on this lunchtime. And then the magic weekend from the Super League continues once we're done here on Talksport 2 with back-to-back commentaries. And starting with Hull KR against Salford at 5:15 and St Helens against Leeds at 7:30. The two teams in the bottom two places in the Premier League, Leicester against Southampton. Leicester desperate for a home win and a home goal. Southampton desperate to make it to 12 points, and they get the game off and underway in their change kit of lime green shirts, dark blue shorts and lime green socks, and Leicester all in royal blue, and Southampton playing from left to right in the first half and Leicester from right to left. Southampton go to Harwood Bellis and back to goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. He'll hammer the ball high downfield. They're on to their third manager of the season, Southampton. The interim boss Simon Rusk watches on with his arms folded on the near side touchline. I suppose technically number 4 because it's his second caretaker spell of the season so far. And of course Ruud van Nistelrooy with this dreadful record since taking charge at Leicester. 18 defeats from 23 matches and just 3 wins. I don't think too many expect Ruud van Nistelrooy or indeed Simon Rusk to be in the dugout of either of these clubs next season, Matt Murray.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I think Ruud van Nistelrooy will be really disappointed. Obviously, when he took over caretaker at Manchester United, he got a really good reaction out of them. He'd assured that he could have done, still be right in it towards the end of the season with Leicester. So, yeah, very disappointing for him. Top player. And as for Southampton, they just didn't get it right at all, did they? And I think probably both, you ask both owners now, they probably, and we've all got 20/20 hindsight, wish they'd just stayed put, because Steve Cooper wasn't in the relegation zone when he left here.
Given away by Ndidi in the middle of midfield nearly for Leicester, while Fast just got in front of Mateus Fernandes to poke it clear up towards Jordan Ayew, who's midway inside his own half the field. He'll play it back to Conor Cody, and now here is Ndidi. Just in front of the penalty area. Leicester last scored at home in the Premier League on the 8th of December. Bobby De Cordova-Reid's equaliser in a 2-2 draw at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. Not won a home game here in the Premier League since early December. Reverse ball down the inside left by El Khanous, looking to pick out Jamie Vardy. Cleared away by Jan Bednarek. Out of play for a Leicester throw. And there was a massive cheer, wasn't there, for Jamie Vardy from the Leicester fans when his name was announced in the warm-up. Yeah,
look, what a signing. £1 million, and he's done what he's done for this club. I mean, there won't be many better signings ever, especially in this day and age. Because I remember watching him when he first came into the Leicester side, and he was playing on the shoulder and sharp and doing that stuff, and his finishing wasn't quite there, and then he just grew and grew and grew, didn't he, in the records, and so much joy.
Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Casey McAteer raiding down the far side, the right, left-footed cross. Thomas can't reach it at the back post, but it was good football from Leicester City, who actually before losing away at Wolves last weekend had shown a little bit of an improvement in the defeat to Liverpool that saw them relegated here, and twice coming from a goal down to get a point away at Brighton. But it is still Leicester 0, Southampton 0. 3 minutes gone. Big goal in League 1. Huddersfield 0, Leyton Orient 1. And Leyton Orient in the position now where they would guarantee themselves a playoff spot in League 1, barring a mathematical improbability. They're in the hot seat in 6th position, and all they need to do is match Reading's result. Reading at home to Barnsley, they would need to put up a cricket score to overtake Leyton Orient at this rate. Huddersfield 0, Leyton Orient 1. That's the first big goal of the day on the final day in Leagues 1 and 2, and all the goals as they go in also over on Talksport. Decent play from Leicester there, man.
Yeah, really good play. Wing back to wing, full-back to full-back was really good. And Thomas, who's, he's just got an award for 100 games, didn't he, the pitch beforehand, and he was just inches away, but good play. But he was totally unmarked from a Southampton point of view. How he got in there, if that had been a yard or two closer, he might have been putting that in at the back post. So, yeah, decent start from them. And Southampton just trying to get on the ball, push it round, but there was that chance, wasn't there, for Vardy as well, where he was just on the shoulder. Bednarek did well, but you just thought a little bit more in the grass, maybe he'd have been in, but just not quite enough weight on the pass. So I think Leicester will be the slightly happier of the two sides with this start.
4 minutes gone, 0-0, Leicester and Southampton. Quite a subdued atmosphere as you'd expect. Ugachukwu bullies his way beyond Ndidi on the inside right, cuts the ball infield to Mateus Fernandes, and a chip out left to Ryan Manning on the overlap. Back now to Sulemana with a deflected shot from the edge of the penalty area, and Leicester managed to get that one away. There are quite a few empty seats at the King Power Stadium today. Flynn Downs finds Ugachukwu, who scored that recent equaliser in the draw at West Ham that did take Southampton level with Derby's all-time low record of 11 points. Kyle Walker-Peters in the penalty area now. Connor Cody gets across, and that's the first corner of the afternoon. It's to Southampton, away to the right-hand side. Rotherham 0, Peterborough 1, meanwhile, is the latest score in League One. Matt?
Yeah, positive play there, and good little running behind. I thought Connor Cody's positioning was good. He read it well. Now it'll be interesting. Again, you're chatting to people. Look how Leicester set up defensively. The semi-zonal there. They've got the 4 big ones along the Vardy in that front hole along the side of the box. So yeah, this is about desire. Let's see how this gets on.
Mateus Fernandes will take the corner, right-footed and out swinging to the edge of the 6-yard box, and the header down is grasped by the goalkeeper Stolarczyk. It was Taylor Harwood-Bellis up from the back, and not much power behind it. And Leicester's stand-in goalkeeper, who will be in goal for the rest of the season now, makes a simple save.
Yeah, and he's done well there just to watch it though, because sometimes they can be a bit awkward. There's a few bodies there, but he watched it well. That will just settle him down. Nice save. He's done well every time he's come in, to be fair. I was gutted because I wanted to see Hermansen, but obviously he's got that injury. He is a player, Hermansen, that I think will stay in the Premier League. I think he's done really, really well. And this will probably be Stolarczyk now saying, don't worry, you can keep me as the number 1 next season. There are a few people I think auditioning, and because Leicester will be looking to bounce straight back and not do a Luton. It's crazy, isn't it, that they've gone down.
Luton have been relegated today. Hull surviving on goal difference. So Luton, Plymouth and Cardiff relegated to League One. Coventry and Bristol City into the playoffs, joining Sunderland and Sheffield United, and Leeds winning the Championship title, despite both they and Burnley ending with 100 points. Foul by Harwood-Bellis, high boot on Vardy, free kick to Leicester, midway inside Southampton territory. Harwood-Bellis protests to the referee, David Webb, with the really grey clouds gathering overhead, and Leicester have got a free kick in a dangerous position here. Former Wolves goalkeeper Matt Murray.
It is, yeah, and I think he can't argue about the challenge there. He's definitely caught Vardy, and thankfully Vardy's come out unscathed. It was a genuine attempt for the ball, but he's quite straight. It's for me, it's too far to shoot. But this is one where you sometimes can work something clever from the training ground and heading it back across. But yeah, obviously the first contact on the set piece to Southampton, they got it. A simple save, and now this is definitely a dangerous position.
And both teams already relegated, of course. It's taken short to the corner of the penalty area at El Canouse, wearing number 11 with a curling shot that's blocked. It's rebounded to El Canouse down on the dead ball line, and he does well to win Leicester's first corner off Mateus Fernandes. And credit to the supporters of both teams who've been through a lot this season, but they are trying to get behind their respective clubs in these early stages.
Yeah, bank holiday weekend, they could be going somewhere else or staying down. I bet it's quite nice. It's Southampton down in the sun on that coast, but yeah, they've come up travelling good numbers, and this shows the size of these clubs, and they'll be both wanting to do a Burnley and bounce straight back.
0-0 in the 8th minute. Luke Thomas will take the Leicester corner. Everybody back for Southampton. Here it comes, left-footed and out swinging, and just over the head of McAteer, who got something on it, a skimmer. It's come back out to the right, and Ayew who delivers, headed away by Ugachukwu this time. Remember, shot shy, goal shy Leicester, and they've lost 11 of their last 12 in all competitions, home and away, since winning at Tottenham on the 26th of January. Just 2 league wins all season for Southampton, at home to Everton in November and away at Ipswich at the very start of February. These are 2 teams who you could say have forgotten how to win matches.
They have, and Leicester play Nottingham Forest next, who are pushing for Champions League, and Forest will show no mercy. They're against their local rivals, and Man City next, isn't it, for Southampton? So again, they're pushing for Champions League. So you're just looking at it for both teams. They have to get something. Is it just to try and have some positivity?
Hibs 1, Dundee United 0 is the latest score. Yes, Southampton's remaining fixtures: Manchester City, then Everton away in the last game at Goodison, and then a home game against Arsenal. So if they don't get something today, Matt, you'd think they'll probably end up on 11 points and the joint worst team ever in the Premier League.
Exactly that. And no, you don't want that on your CV, you really don't.
Sulemana trying to get in behind Fast down the inside right. Fast sweeps the ball away only as far as Fernandez. Was he fouled by Ndidi on the edge of the box? No, says the referee. Referee says he got to the ball. Simon Rusk, arms outstretched. The interim head coach appeals, but it's not going to change the decision of David Webb, at least on the field.
And I straight away looked at Fernandez there, and he didn't really. He knew. I thought, indeed, he had to get it right. It was a strange ball from Fast, in my opinion, into a dangerous position, but indeed, he had to get that right. Obviously, we've got VAR, but I can just see the way Fernandez reacted. He knew he'd just been eased off it, and it was good defending. But I want to see this Fernandez really closely live, because again, he's the one that people are really raving about, and I think Southampton think if they can keep him, that will really help them bounce back.
They've got to throw on that far side of the field, Southampton, and it's Ryan Manning, the number 3, who's going to take it midway into Leicester territory. Manning looking for maybe the Chelsea loanee Ugachukwu, but he'll throw the ball towards the corner of the penalty area where Sulemana was waiting. Leicester smuggle it half away from danger. One back by Jack Stevens, who scored in the home defeat to Fulham last weekend. Now Walker-Peters infield towards Downs, who lets it run across his body, but fouls Ayew in the same instance, and that's a Leicester free kick. 10 minutes into the game, and it is Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Quite a leisurely pace about it, which is maybe no great surprise. Here goes El Canusto, trying to accelerate infield, down the inside left for Leicester. Works it wide to Thomas, whose cross is blocked at the near post. It'll drop down to Fernandez, plays it back to Walker-Peters. He gallops forward towards the halfway line. Fernandez turns Ndidi, then slips at the vital moment. Back it goes to Downs, and now here is Bednarek, midway inside his own half. Nice football from Southampton, who were relegated after 31 games of the season, the earliest relegation in Premier League history. Leicester went down on the 20th of April, a couple of weeks ago now. Fast with the long curly hair, right in front of Ruud van Nistelrooy. He and Simon Rusk pacing about their respective technical areas. Downs wins the ball back in midfield for Southampton, and now Sulemana trying to drive up the inside left. He's got Manning on the overlap. Manning holds up the play, chips the ball forward towards the run of Sulemana again, headed away by Connor Cody. Southampton not necessarily playing like a team, Matt, who have got so few points this season.
Well, that's the thing, there's a bit of freedom now. It's a free hit, isn't it, to say you just don't want this record. But under Russell Martin, they always played, that's what they know. So they probably just, it doesn't feel like it's overly risky football. But yeah, there's some nice little patterns there, passing it around. Again, good covering from Cody. But now I think it's Southampton that are having a better spell, more territory. Long throw going to come in the box now, and just be interesting. I think if anyone gets a goal in this, they're going to be in shock, I think.
Manning will take the long throw. It is 0-0 in towards Harwood Bellis at the near post, and headed away by James Justin. Now Manning again on that far side left touchline. Little 5-yard ball infield to Flynn Downs, the former Swansea and Ipswich man, and here's Kyle Walker-Peters with the red boots on. Good possession, or period of possession for Southampton. 1 or 2 late arrivals to the director's box here at the King Power to our right. Ugachukwu with a careless pass to give it away, but equally so from Oliver Skipp, who's presented it straight back to Southampton. And now Fernandez just forward of the centre circle, steers the ball left, and it's taken down by Sulemana. Looks for the run of Manning on the underlap, and it was a difficult ball, but he's still managed to control it down by the dead ball line, and he has won a corner. Leicester felt there was a foul. Nothing given by the referee in terms of a free kick, and Manning's done brilliantly there, Matt, to win a corner from a seated position. He was almost on the ground.
Yeah, I thought it was either going to be a goal kick. It's certainly not a foul, and he's played it off. He's played it off McAteer, but yeah, great run and great improvisation just to get up and win that corner. Another set piece again. Last time was it Harwood Bellis who got the header on it, and this time to get more purchase on it, they might be testing the Stolarczyks more. But I just want a big save. I want a big chance. Just get this.
We'll get there, Matt. We'll get there.
This game really, really
good. It needs something, doesn't it? It's so leisurely, and the crowd are almost too relaxed. Morecambe won Harrogate 0, latest score in League 2. Morecambe already relegated. Ryan Manning's delivery, left-footed into the near post, and well, it looked like it was going to be a really poor delivery. Ross Stewart swung his foot at it and nearly got there, but Leicester do clear. Bednarek wins it back for Southampton and rolls the ball back to the halfway line of Walker-Peters. It's a good spell this for the visitors, but it's still 0-0. Only 52 goals scored between them so far this season in the Premier League. 25 Southampton, 27 Leicester. The Saints have conceded 80 and Leicester 76, which tells you all you need to know, really, Matt.
It is all you need to know. I know really bad statistics, but that's a bit you're hanging on, isn't it? Obviously the defences aren't that good, so let's go and see.
It should open
up.
up.
That's what you're hoping, and the fans usually would be getting a bit frustrated, I think, with Leicester here. Why go and high press, go and get after them, try some things for next season, because you're already down, so go and try some things and try some tactics, and as I say, go and play with that pride and show I can be a Leicester City player next season, or come and get me if you're a Premier League club, because I deserve to stay at this level.
High ball downfield for Southampton towards Stewart, and out of play it goes all the way through to goalkeeper Jakub Stelarczyk. There were a chance just a few moments ago of We Want Rudkin out. Leicester City's director of football, John Rudkin, who's been under considerable pressure, and indeed there's a banner that's been unfurled by some of the Leicester City fans away to our right-hand side, which is very critical of John Rudkin and the ownership of the club. Couldn't quite see exactly what it was saying, but it certainly wasn't complimentary. Charlton 0, Burton 1, the latest score in League One, and St Johnstone 0, Kilmarnock 1. What a job, by the way, Gary Bowyer's done at Burton Albion to lead them to safety this season from what looked like an improbable position. They were almost in a Leicester or Southampton-esque position. I think they were 11 points from safety at one stage, but they've stayed up.
Amazing job, and honestly, that is up there with manager of the season. What he has done to go into that situation, not a big budget. I watched them a few times as well, and they would play some good stuff, and to be safe, not going into the last game of the season, he's a really good manager. It's a really good job, and excellent.
Quarter of an hour gone. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 here. And live and exclusive from the Premier League on Talksport 2. Here come Leicester. El Khanous raiding down the left-hand side, crossing towards Vardy! There's the goal for Leicester City! And it had to be their main man, Jamie Vardy! Finally, they break this home league scoring duck, and Jamie Vardy signing off towards the end of his Leicester City career, now on 199 goals in Fox's royal blue. It had to be him. It's Leicester 1, Southampton 0.
And that's what they all came to see. That's why they're not anywhere else on their bank holiday. And it's so good, isn't it, seeing this stadium rocking again and celebrating that. One of their heroes, he will go down as a Leicester City great, a legend, and that was vintage Jamie Vardy. You either saw him running on the shoulder or like that, where he holds the space. El Khanous, brilliant ball across, and to come on and finish that, his little stop, hold, left foot, half volley. That is not an easy finish. To stay over it like that, there's nothing Ramsdale can do. He's set, he's holding, and he fires it into the top corner, 7 yards out. What a finish. And he's done that so many times in his career. And brilliant. And that's what the fans want to see, is what the game needed, what these fans needed, and hopefully now this really, really springs into life. But well done, Jamie Vardy.
Big smile for Ruud van Nistelrooy, and Jamie Vardy, one away from a double century of goals in a Leicester City shirt. They've waited so long for a goal at home in the Premier League. 9 consecutive games it had been, and now Leicester will avoid the, I'm sorry, Matt, the Wolves record.
I knew that was coming.
The only team to fail to score in 10 consecutive home league games bizarrely in the history of the Football League. But there you have it. There you have it. The top 4 tiers, if you like, in English football anyway. So Leicester 1, Southampton 0. That was a great goal.
It was a really good goal, really good quality. El Khanous, going down that left, and the way he picks his head up. And it is a really difficult one to defend, because defenders naturally just drop a bit towards a goal. And if you see Vardy's movement, it's instinctive, it's intelligent. He's seen going in, and then he just holds his run. But then that's when El Khanous has got to pick him out. Not only pick him out, but with the weight of pass, the accuracy. And to come on, left foot finish. That was a Premier League quality goal. Fantastic goal, and no better person to score. And after last weekend as well, when he missed the penalty against my old team, and we're going to start getting Wolves stuff in, then, it's again shows the character of him, though, didn't it? And
it does.
Really, really good, really good.
Matt Murray, former Wolves goalkeeper, with us today on Talksport 2. Carlisle United 1, Salford City 0. That's bad news for Salford in their playoff chase. They're outside the top 7 now. Carlisle already relegated. Blackpool 0, Bristol Rovers 1 in League One. Bristol Rovers, who have gone down this season. And Doncaster can win the League Two title today. They're 1-0 up away at Notts County, who have an outside chance of automatic promotion, that they'd need plenty of results to go their way. Notts County 0, Doncaster 1. So Doncaster, Port Vale and Bradford at the moment in the automatic promotion places in League Two. We know that Doncaster and Vale are already up. Southampton on the attack, looking for Sulemana. Connor Cody chests the ball down and hooks it high up into the air. Much more positive atmosphere here now at Leicester City, though you can totally understand the frustration of the home fans after what has been a desperate season. The League Two playoffs, Walsall, Notts County, Wimbledon and Grimsby at the moment making up the top 7. And in League One, Leyton Orient still lead by a goal to 0 in their all-important game away at Huddersfield, and so they will be in the 6th and final playoff spot in League One. All of the playoff matches will be live across the Talksport network, as you'd expect. Now it's Leicester on the halfway line again with Ndidi. Morecambe 1, Harrogate 1. And Harrogate were not 1-0 down for long. Hibs 2, Dundee United 0, and Carlisle 2, Salford 0. So are Salford going to blow the chance of a playoff spot on the last day of the season? It looks like they are at the moment. 2-0 down to already relegated Carlisle United. Leicester in possession, Matt Murray leading 1-0 after 20 minutes.
Yeah, and that will give them, a bit of confidence, and now knocking it about, and it seems to be Leicester the ones that are sort of sitting back. They'll be disappointed because it's the first attempt on target they conceded by, but they need to show some pride, some reaction. And what's happened to the ref?
He's just been caught in a 50-50 challenge. David Webb has gone to ground, and I think he was caught by a flailing arm maybe. Jamie Vardy has gone over and blown the whistle, and on come the physios, one from each club, to come and give some treatment to referee David Webb. Well, we've got monitors in our commentary position, Matt. I'd be interested to see that again, see how that all panned out. I think he was caught by somebody's flailing arm. Jordan Ayew maybe.
Yeah, he's just turned into him, hasn't it? Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, that's a sore.
He's barged into him.
Yeah. Bit of a strange one, and this is obviously the ironic chance now you're not fit to referee. That's football fans for you. When you're down there on the pitch, there's some of the. But I think he's unfortunately.
I hope he's not too badly injured here, David Webb.
I know we're having Vardy's gone and blown the whistle, but actually that hurts because you're not expecting it. It'd be interesting. Only Ayew knows why he's not really avoided him, because it's not the. It's not the referee's fault there.
No, Ayew's sort of run into him. I don't know whether is it his shoulder, Matt?
Yeah,
that's
it's just
hit the referee. It's his first Premier League game today, by the way, for David Webb. But I wonder whether he'll be able to carry on. He's being treated by the physios at the moment, and he's sitting up now, which is good to see. But that was a nasty, unfortunate moment.
It is, because when you're not expecting something like that and you turn, and trust me, I used to get whacked all the time by these big strikers and stuff. They're tough guys, they're hard, and when you bounce off them and you're not expecting and you turn, so look, he's up, I hope he's okay, but it might have, just when it catches you around that temple area, around that eye, it can, disorientate you. So I hope he's okay, because you say his first Premier League game, he'll have been looking forward to this, and let's be honest, we hardly have to mention him, which shows me he's been having a good game.
Yeah.
He's let the game flow. I thought he got that decision right with the Manning incident, but just a little bit of a strange one by Ayew there.
Well, he's walked off the pitch here, the referee David Webb, and I hope he is okay, but he's not exactly showing signs that he's about to come back on. He's going down the tunnel, and I think that'll be it for David Webb. Well, that is sad to see, and obviously, though he's walked off and he doesn't look in too much trouble, we wish him all the best in his recovery.
It was,
that is a real shame to see.
But you can't take risks. It's the same with a player. If you get caught and if there's any chance of concussion, you can't continue. And maybe he's got to be checked, or they're going to have to change and put the fourth official, move things around. But it was quite a bang. It was.
It was.
And it's when you're not, as I say, it's when you're not expecting it. He'll just be relaxing on turn. and boom, straight into Ayew, who's he's a big old lump, isn't he? He's not exactly small, and it's just where it catches you as well. And sometimes the more innocuous ones actually sort of disorientate you more. So yeah, shame. And you know what, as well, I think for the players, the game was just getting a bit of a flow, a bit of a rhythm, and as much as players work hard to become in the Premier League, so do these referees. They take a lot of stick, they work hard, they've come, and they'll have looked forward to this. And unfortunately for David Webb, it's going to be remembered for the wrong reasons for him.
Well, now we've got no referee on the pitch. In fact, we've only got one assistant referee, and no sign as to what is actually going to happen in terms of whether David Webb is just being checked out in the tunnel area and whether he can continue, or whether we'll need a new referee altogether. The fourth official is Sam Barrett, and of course we only seem to have one assistant on the pitch at the moment. David Webb, the referee's gone down the tunnel, and well, is he being strapped up again here? He was laughing in the tunnel there, the referee, a moment ago, which is good to see. And we know that that's the case because we're watching pictures on our monitor here inside the commentary position. Just while this is happening, goals that have gone in elsewhere on the final day of the League One and League Two seasons. Morecambe 1, Harrogate 2, Newport 1, Tranmere 0. Birmingham City leading 1-0 at Cambridge United. What a season for Birmingham City. They've already broken the record for highest number of points in an EFL season. It's going to be 111.
And whose record did they break?
Reading.
Oh, did they not beat
in
Wolves?
05-06.
And they beat Wolves in the League One season.
In the League One season, Wolves, you're absolutely
so
right.
There you go. So you want to throw more stats in to give Wolves some stick, don't you? That's all it was.
Oh, come on, Matt, come on. I love Molineux. I love a trip to Molineux. I'm telling you, it's amazing, though, isn't it? 111 points, Chris Davis.
What a season. And again, you talk about pride and players, because those players, they won that league a long time ago, but they've wanted the records for the right reasons. Clean sheets, winning points, going and doing it. So, yeah, Chris Davis is a rookie manager coming in doing that. So, and Birmingham City now, we talk about clubs that have had difficult times. Birmingham City's definitely had difficult times, and with the ownership.
And they've shown how you can bounce back.
And you bounce back. You don't want to stay long in League One. You want to get, they've had 1 year.
Tough to get out of.
Reconnected and come back up. So teams like Luton, not saying they've got bad owners, but they'll take the sort of encouragement from that. But yeah, Birmingham City, I think they'll be a force to reckon with next season.
In the Championship next season. Huddersfield 0, Leyton Orient 2. So Orient will be in the sixth and final, or the fourth and final playoff spot, if you like, in League One. Sixth position. Surely now Reading would have to absolutely hammer Barnsley to overtake them on goal difference, and it's still Reading 0, Barnsley 0. 2-0 to Leyton Orient at Huddersfield, so they're heading for the playoffs. Charlton 1, Burton Albion 1. Charlton already assured of a top 6 spot. Mansfield 1, Exeter 0. St Mirren 0, Aberdeen 1. Ross County 1, Hearts 0. And Bromley 1, Cheltenham 0. Bromley have had a good first season at EFL level. And you're up to date around the grounds around the country. Not much is happening here. Both sets of players are just knocking balls about out on the field of play. It's been a delay of 5 or 6 minutes now. This is all because the referee David Webb was accidentally caught off the ball by Jordan Ayew. It looked a nasty knock. He received treatment on the field, and I mean, we don't know exactly what's happened, Matt, so we won't go into too much speculation, but he's been taken down the tunnel, and we assume maybe this is concussion protocol. There's one assistant referee out on the pitch at the moment, no other match officials. At the moment, we've not got a referee.
Yeah, so imagine would the linesman become the referee? And then maybe David Webb could still do the fourth official job.
Possibly.
If he's allowed to, because hopefully he can still do those sort of decisions. But you have to be careful, you have to look after people. But listen to your updates there, and they'll talk about Richie Wellings, what an amazing job he's done at Leyton Orient. But Huddersfield made their change. They didn't get a bounce, did they? So there's so many things going on when you listen to all these things in the league. But all these teams, like Huddersfield, they were in the Premier League, weren't they? Not that long ago. It's crazy. But going back to the referee, firstly, I hope David Webb's okay. Sometimes I've been at games where they've called people out of the crowd, haven't they, to help officiate. So.
Is anybody a qualified referee? And who knows, maybe that'll need to be the case today. We haven't seen any more pictures on our monitor in the commentary position from the tunnel area. So at the moment, both sets of players, keepy-uppies, passes about. Some of the crowd are heading for the concourse areas. It's probably a good time to go and get a bit of food or go and get a drink in. Everton lead by a goal to nil in the Premier League at home to Ipswich. Everton's penultimate home game at Goodison Park. Beto has scored. and we are just waiting for confirmation over the PA as to what is going on. And I think actually the update is there is no update. It sounded to me over the PA as though we'll get an update as and when things change. So this could be quite a stoppage. Leicester have got the fitness coach out on the field of play now, going through some running drills with the players. And for Southampton, they're all gathered together in the centre circle, some of them chatting. Aaron Ramsdale's bouncing a ball up and down. Notts County 0, Doncaster Rovers 2 is the latest score in League 2, so that surely puts paid to any lingering potential hopes that Notts County would have had of automatic promotion. It surely means that Doncaster are going to end up winning the League 2 title. Doncaster and Port Vale already promoted. Bradford in third. Bradford City 0, Fleetwood 0 is a latest score. Bradford know that they would guarantee a promotion to League One with victory. All the goals as they go in are live right now with Adrian Durham over on Talksport. Once we're done today on Talksport 2, Super League's Magic Weekend goes on. Hull KR against Salford and then St Helens against Leeds. Sunday session with Sam Matterface takes you around the grounds around the country tomorrow from 1:30. And on the Monday night football, it will bring you Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, plus all of the semi-final action from Europe next week and the start of the playoffs, which we all love. And Matt Murray knows a thing or two about the playoffs as well. And we're looking forward to the start of that next week. Every playoff game live on the network. But just for a second, Matt, forget the playoffs. This is a long delay for those players. I don't know if you've ever been involved in a delay like this before, as we still wait for a referee or to see what's going to happen with the match officials. But this has been 7 or 8 minutes now. What are you thinking?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I've been in shorter delays where referees pulled a calf and a little changeover, but not one for this long. I've been at games where there have been, unfortunately, medical emergencies in the crowd. Yeah. And that's then when it was a certain length, the players had to do a mini warm-up again because you've got to protect them from injury. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a disappointing one for everybody involved, but it's just so unfortunate. But I just don't. Yeah, I'm not sure what the protocol here is, because as I said, I'd have thought the fourth official maybe runs the line or becomes a referee. The linesman either continue or one of them, and David Webb just goes to fourth official. So yeah, it's distracting, it's difficult for everyone, but like you said there as well, we don't really know what's going on. It's a bit like a VAR decision. Everyone's sort of in the dark a little, so when they just don't announce things. But I suppose there is no protocol for this apart from David Webb's welfare is the most important thing here.
Well, we hope he's okay, and we've got another replay of what happened on our monitor in the commentary position, and Jordan Ayew runs past him and just accidentally clips the referee on the side of the head, and he went down, and it looked a nasty blow for David Webb, side of the forehead, maybe on the cheek.
The temple, yeah, here we go.
And they have what looks like a new match referee. Now, there are cheers here as the other assistant takes to the field, and the crowd here with the ironic cheers.
Who's this guy with the grey hair? He's shaking hands with the manager.
It's the referee coach Phil Sharp who's taking over as the fourth official, and Sam Barrett is the man who's come out to take charge of the game for the rest of the day. So we hope David Webb's okay. All of our thoughts with him. He looked okay in the pictures in the tunnel that we saw. I presume it's just protocol, making sure that everything is safe and secure, and the game is back underway again after a delay of around 10 minutes, with Sam Barrett now officiating. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. Jamie Vardy the scorer. Officially, we've had 33 minutes. There will be a heck of a lot of added time at the end of this one.
But if it was a player that went down with a challenge like that, and if he failed the protocol, he'd come off. So it should be the same for a referee.
Yeah, rightly so. And we just hope it isn't a serious concussion issue for David Webb. So Sam Barrett, the fourth official, takes charge, and we're back off and underway with the referee coach Phil Sharp taking charge of fourth official duties now. Very strange incident, which has been part of a very strange season for both teams, and it'll be interesting to see, Matt, which of the two sides is sharper after the long delay. 1-0 to Leicester.
Yeah, well, the referee stretching off his hammy, so he's just getting moving. And then that pass just showed you there, didn't it? Just a bit, an unforced error, if you like. And it's natural for the players. They were in the rhythm, the groove was there, the tempo is just picking up after a really, really good Leicester City goal. So, yeah, everyone's got to get back going again, but they're professionals, it can't be helped. But yeah, as you say, which of the two? I think Leicester will be the ones that are really disappointed, because they were the ones with the momentum, if you like, and that break has sort of disrupted their rhythm. But yeah, back at it now. But it's good 10-11 minute stoppage now.
11 minutes 55 seconds, we're being told. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. Wycombe 1, Stockport 0 in League One. Both those teams will be in the playoffs in League One. Every playoff game live across the Talksport network. Dundee 1, Motherwell 0. Northampton 1, Wigan Athletic 0. And Accrington 0, Chesterfield 1. That takes Chesterfield into the final League 2 playoff position. They started the day in 9th, a point off the playoffs. They're into 7th and into the playoff positions as it stands. A long way still to go, but of course will be behind everybody else by quite a long way, you would think, here. After David Webb, the referee, had to be replaced. Officially, we've had 35 minutes. Manning in the left-back area for Southampton, and that has... the whole thing has quelled the atmosphere somewhat. Oh, and a terrible back pass by Stevens. Massively overhit at Ramsdale. And it's hit his foot and gone behind. And the goalkeeper, he can't believe it.
I'll be having words with him. If you pass the ball back to me like that, wow. What are you doing? I mean, if you want to lay it in there, just set it so he can go first time and come on and clear it. But to fire a ball at any player like that... but look, the goalkeepers nowadays, and Ramsdale has very good feet, but that was just crazy. And if they go and score now from this corner... it's just some things like that. What are you doing? And you can't blame the stoppage in play on that. That's just a lack of concentration, in my opinion.
Corner to Leicester City, which Jordan Ayew is going to take here. It'll be right-footed and out-swinging with a lot of added time still to come. 1-0 to Leicester City here. You're listening to Talksport 2. Charlton 2, Burton 1 is the latest score. Cambridge 1, Birmingham 1. In by Ayew, and Deeney with a flick across goal, and it hit Stevens and dropped into the gloves of Ramsdale. Southampton were fortunate there that they didn't concede.
That's a really good chance. He's not far out. It's a free header. And if he can guide that towards the back stick, just a bit more of a connection, then there's no way Ramsdale can affect that, because the teams don't defend with players on the back post now. And for Ndidi, he should be doing better. Good corner from Ayew. From a Leicester City point of view, good delivery. From a Southampton point of view, poor corner to give away, and then really, really poor marking after that. So they need to just liven up and just show. You can see why they are where they are, can't you?
Yeah, it's pretty lifeless, isn't it? The performance from Southampton at the moment. Almost feels like they're going through the motions. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. For the latest odds, head to William Hill, the official betting partner of Talksport 2's Premier League coverage. Right now, Leicester 11-20, Southampton 5-1, the draw at 29-10. That's all thanks to William Hill, 18+, begambleaware.org. Everton 2, Ipswich 0 in the Premier League. Dwight McNeil has got Everton's second of the afternoon. Ipswich, of course, also already relegated. All three promoted clubs have gone straight back down, just like last season. And Southampton have got a free kick right in front of Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's watching on with his arms folded. Looks like Fernandes is going to hoist this forward. He's the only man on the ball, drives it to the edge of the area, headed away by Wout Faes for Leicester, and further clear by Ayew up to the safety of the centre circle. We brought you the drama from the Championship earlier on Talksport 2. The division where both these sides will be playing their football once again next season. Luton relegated after losing 5-3 at West Brom. Hull surviving on goal difference. Coventry and Bristol City joining the playoff contenders. We already knew that Sheffield United and Sunderland were there. Leeds winning the title despite Burnley also winning. Leeds got a late victory at Plymouth Argyle. So both those two teams ending the campaign with 100 points, and Leeds winning the title on goal difference, would you believe it? Ramsdale under pressure, gives it to Stevens. 1-0 down here, Southampton. Stevens, good ball up to Sulemana, who looks a willing runner, but he's robbed on the halfway line by Skip. Leicester 1-0 up in the 39th minute. Carlisle 2, Salford 1. Goal back for Salford in their playoff chase, but they really need to turn that game around. As it stands, they'll miss out on a spot in the top 7 in League 2. And Southampton with Ugachukwu winning it back on the halfway line, jinks away from Wilfred Ndidi. Now he's darted infield to a central area, surely tripped by Ndidi. No, you didn't think so, Matt, either?
No, and I think the players around Anogachukwu knew it as well. He's not even had a moan up, so getting the referee now is coming on, and he was right on the spot. And yeah, I just think it was a hopeful one. He just too many touches, caught on it. But I'm just looking at it now, and with Ross Stewart, he's a tall guy, but you're not threatening him behind, and you're just looking, would it be worth at some point getting a Cameron Archer on to do that?
Hardly had a kick, has he, Stewart? Ayew down the inside right for Leicester, couple of step overs, and now the chance for the cross from the right hand side in towards El Khanous, and then over the top by Thomas. Casey McAteer's delivery was good. El Khanous sort of swung and missed, and then Thomas deflected over the bar. Leicester are the dominant force in this game. They look pretty comfortable at 1-0 up.
Definitely, and again, it's Downs this time who's let him run off the back of him, and El Khanous, he'll be disappointed that he couldn't quite get a contact, because again, there, if a first time contact, you just get a surface on it. It's a difficult one for the goalkeeper, but it feels like a real tactic. They know the defenders are going to drop, and they just keep hitting. We call it the second 6-yard box between penalty spots and the 6-yard line, and another really, really good chance.
It wasn't far away, was it? Another corner for Leicester City, their third of the game. They've finally broken or ended that scoring drought in the Premier League at home. Ayew's low corner in towards Vardy at the near post. That was a training ground routine, but Walker-Peters was there to it, and now the flag has actually gone up as the ball went back towards Jordan Ayew. Free kick to Southampton, so we've got to expect about 12 minutes of added time, Matt, so I reckon there's a good 16 minutes or so left, and maybe 17 in the first half. The sun threatening to come out here at the King Power. It's very much got end of season feel about it here now. Rotherham 1, Peterborough 1 equalised for Rotherham. Mansfield 2, Exeter 0 is the latest score in League One, and Fass has shepherded the ball back to Stolarczyk, all in green. He's not really had anything to do so far, just that simple save from the header from Harwood Bellis.
Yeah, routine save for him, but definitely Leicester that have kept, if you like, the play up from that break and play when the referee had the injury. They're the one, I think, making the pitch big, moving it to both sides, more energy, more urgency, more belief. That's for Southampton's a bit like a testimonial, isn't it, the way they're just sitting off and would you say passive? Is that the way?
It feels like it, doesn't it, Matt? I mean, the confidence must be so low. I mean, every time they go behind, right, they must think they're going to get beaten.
They must, but go and look in that corner. They've near enough sold their allocation.
Yeah, you're right.
All the way up.
Yeah.
Difficult times, a
thousands of Saints fans.
Thousands, and go and get after the team.
El Khanous breaking down the middle for Leicester. He's on the edge of the D, thinks about the shot, fouled by Fernandez. Free kick. Sam Barrett was in a great position to see it, and it's a free kick just to the right edge of the D, within shooting range. Is Vardy going to think about this on 199 now?
I was watching Vardy in the warm-up, and look, Vardy's a fantastic finisher. One of the finishes I think he's got really nice when he just runs on and he punches that ball, like steps onto it. So maybe the old free kick where they just roll it to one side and Vardy steps on and hits it. I can't imagine him stepping up and whipping it over the wall, but because of the nostalgia, there might be something that we don't know. I mean, is it Ayew with the ball under his arm?
Ayew wants it, doesn't he? And he's placed it, but Vardy is nearby.
Yeah.
And he won't get too many chances to get 200 between now and the end of the season.
Yes.
I wonder, does he fancy this?
Maybe, and why not? Look, and how nice would that be for these Leicester City fans? And I've never seen. Is he walking away from it?
Our colleague Ian Stringer, who has seen many a Leicester City game, he can't believe the suggestion that Vardy was going to hit that, and Vardy has walked away from it. You don't see him over many.
You're a romantic guy.
I am. I want to see. Everybody wants the big moment. Well, the Southampton fans don't want it anyway. But there'll be a free kick here to Leicester. Couple of minutes left in normal time in the first half. And Ayew, he placed the ball down. He wants to take this.
And Justin's trying to get in Ramsdale's eye line between the ball and the guy. And I tell you what Vardy will be doing, looking for any pieces that come back off the crossbar or keeper.
Talksport 2 with about 90 seconds of normal time to go. Loads of added time to come. Jordan Ayew, the only man standing over the ball. It's going to be a short run-up, curling it right-footed into the wall. Comes back to Ayew, hits it well! Hits it into the bottom corner! 2-0 to Leicester City, and maybe they are finding some pride at the end of the season after all. Foxes never quit, so they say, and at least on this occasion, Leicester City have taken the game by the scruff of the neck, and it's going to be yet another miserable afternoon in the Premier League for Southampton. At the second attempt, Ayew's made it Leicester 2, Southampton 0.
Yeah, and it's a really difficult one for Aaron Ramsdale because they've put like a mini wall in front of the wall for Leicester. The ball drops back and Ayew comes onto it, and that's saying when I used to obviously involved in lots of striker sessions, and the coaches used to say to strikers, just hit it hard and low, hit the floor, you score, kiss the grass with that strike. And that's a really, like the first free kick, okay, jumps, the wall just comes back to him. That's a lovely technique to stay over the ball, half volley, just skims through right in the bottom corner. Ramsdale doesn't pick it up until it's past the bodies, no chance of him. And look, he's a really, really good goalkeeper. Some people are surprised he came here. I think he gets a move, and it'll be interesting how it's handled in the summer. But for Jordan Ayew, for these Leicester fans, apart from it not being Jamie Vardy that scores, they will be delighted with their team. But yeah, really, really good strike from Jordan Ayew there.
Heading for just their 5th Premier League win of the season, and Luke Thomas is in behind down the left, and there's no foul by Walker-Peters in a dangerous area. Blackpool 1, Bristol Rovers 1, equalised for Blackpool. Hearts are level at Ross County, it's 1-1. Tranmere level at Newport 1-1. Huddersfield have a goal back against Leyton Orient in League One. They're 2-1 up Leyton Orient as we go into 12 added minutes at the end of the first half because of the injury to the referee David Webb from earlier. So Leyton Orient still 2-1 up, and they are still in the box seat for that final League One playoff place. Everton 2, Ipswich 1 in the Premier League. Julio Enciso has a goal back for Ipswich. So 2-0 to Leicester City. They had to wait months for a goal at home, and now 2 in the Premier League have come in the space of one half of football, and we're nearly a minute through the 12 added, so we've got the best part of a third of the first half still to go.
Yeah, they haven't, and they'll be believing they can get a third goal here, Leicester, whereas Rusk will be wanting to get his side in and say, you're going to show some pride, you're going to run, you're going to show some fight, move the ball. Fernandes, I feel that he's been sloppy in possession. Started off quite nice, but then he's the one who gave the free kick away, got his body the wrong side, and
now Thomas is in behind down the left, and Bednarek slides into clear. Do they look like they look deflated? Do they look beaten already, Southampton?
Yeah, they do, but obviously 2-0 is always a dangerous scoreline if you can get that goal back. But it's the fullbacks for Leicester that have been brilliant.
They don't look like they believe, to me, these Southampton players.
And that's why you asked about the managers. For me now, it might be that you need to name the manager sooner rather than later. And then he's sat in the stand and he's watching, and even if he doesn't take that manager's not going to have a relegation on his CV. They're already down.
Yeah.
But just something to lift him.
Oh, what a ball. El Khanoussi's put McAteer in down the right. He shoots early. The angle was against him. Maybe wasn't the best first touch, and it's straight at Ramsdale. That was a good chance for Leicester to make it 3.
It's a good run, wasn't it, from McAteer? He's been a real threat. I like him. Put a dangerous ball in before that Thomas was just inches away. I still think they maybe should have passed it, but again, look at Leicester hunting, pressing.
Mugachukwu lost the ball to Ndidi, and there are boos from some of the Southampton fans. El Khanous trying to wriggle towards the edge of the D. Mateus Fernandes does well to track back and scamper forward on the counter over the halfway line. He's trying to jink away from Wilfred Ndidi, and he's eventually been dispossessed, and Leicester forward again with McAteer. El Khanous will go direct down the middle. El Khanous to the edge of the penalty area, right-footed shot over the top, always rising. Vardy was in a bit of space to the left-hand side, but El Khanous couldn't find him. 2-0 Leicester, 2.5 minutes through 12 added in the first half.
And it's going to feel like a long added time for Southampton. They just can't. Every time Mugachukwu, he got too many touches on the ball. Fernandes, then he does brilliantly, doesn't he? Gets over the halfway line, but then his pass doesn't happen. And for credit Leicester, they'd recovered well. There was times when Leicester pressed well, so they are now playing with that bit of belief. Both these teams were, obviously naturally lacking confidence. Leicester, because they got the 2 goals, the tails are up, and Ramsdale's just thinking, what can I do? That save was a pretty routine one, but it just keeps coming back, and Southampton have to change something now. They're miles off it.
Live Premier League football on Talksport 2. Earlier on Talksport, we brought you Aston Villa 1, Fulham 0. Big win for Villa in the race for Champions League places, and we've got an equally big game for you on Monday night from the Premier League over on Talksport. Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. Make sure you download the Talksport app, because at this stage of the season it's absolutely vital, and it'll be one of our homes of the playoffs as well from the EFL, and there's so much live football between now and the end of May to get excited about. Southampton 2-0 down, header away by Ndidi to the corner flag, and kept in play by Justin, who scoops it long towards Ayew, wriggled away from Downs a bit too easily for me. Stevens and then Downs combined to win it back for Southampton in the change kit, the lime green shirts and dark shorts, playing from left to right in the first half. Leicester all in royal blue. Half-time scores starting to come in around the grounds around the country. We'll bring you those in full relatively shortly. There is news of another goal at Bromley, who lead Cheltenham by 2-0 now in first half stoppage time. Little flick by Mateus Fernandes, and now the ball is into the path of Walker-Peters on the near side the right, and he's knocked it back in field. Leicester 2, Southampton 0 on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now, like Arsenal against Bournemouth live today. Search Now Sports. Walker-Peters again, back to Harwood Bellis with the red boots on, and Southampton are popping the ball about. 5 minutes into the 12 added at the end of the first half, but doesn't look to be much direction to it to me.
Well, Ross Stewart, who's a centre forward, is near enough on the halfway line. And he was coming to get it, you know what I mean? He wasn't between the centre halves or anything. Nothing for Southampton to build on there.
They barely had a meaningful touch in the Leicester City box. The ball is with Harwood Bellis. Angled ball to the right hand side of Mateus Fernandes. Infield to Downs, close to the corner of the penalty area. Mateus Fernandes now looks one of Southampton's slightly livelier prospects. It's a really leisurely pace. It's almost a pre-season friendly tempo, and they go back to the halfway line, and more boos from the away section.
Yeah, because Leicester are controlling, and Nuno is one of the best doing that with Nottingham Forest. They will control a team without the ball. Just keep moving, sliding, and they'll find the opportunity to go and press, set a trap, and then suddenly attack with pace. But yeah, Southampton having all this play, but they're not hurting. There's not a real purpose to it. And as I say, Ross Stewart, there's no threat in behind, and that's what I feel Southampton are missing.
They are singing "You're Not Fit to Wear the Shirt," these Southampton supporters, halfway through the 12 added minutes, and you can't really argue with the Saints fans. And their team 2-0 down on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, making a big move or planning a clear out with vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, they've got a van. And the ball is midway inside the Leicester half. Leicester really comfortable. Half-time in the Premier League at Goodison. Everton 2, Ipswich 1 is the latest score. The ball is powered downfield by Cody up the left-hand channel. That's the classic Jamie Vardy ball, and he chases it down by the dead ball line, pulls it back to El Canouse. Couple of step overs, left corner of the penalty area, taking on Harwood Bellis. He'll chip in the cross over the top of Ramsdale. That's hit the top of the bar and gone behind for a goal kick. Matt Murray.
Well, what did Jamie Vardy do? He stretched the play in behind. So sometimes if these teams want to play over a high line, then that it was a beautiful pass from Connie Cody. I've seen him do that so many times in his career. The angle on it, the check, you know Vardy's timing is going to be perfect, and he goes and he just turns the whole Leicester, this whole Southampton team. Then some good combination play, and El Canouse, good step over, and you could see what he's trying to do, that little stand up to the back post, and but that's, for me, it's because it came with that ball in behind. There's nothing wrong with that ball, and it keeps the opposition guessing a little.
With Talksport 2, and we are 7.5 minutes through 12 added at the end of the first half. That was because we had a long stoppage after an injury to the referee, who had to be replaced by the fourth official. Half times in League One: Blackpool 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Bolton 0, Stevenage 0, Cambridge 1, the champions Birmingham 1, Charlton 2, Burton 1, Huddersfield 1, Leyton Orient 2. So Orient will hold on to that 6th spot and the final playoff position in League One. Lincoln 0, Wrexham 0, Mansfield 2, Exeter 0, Northampton 1, Wigan 0, Reading 0, Barnsley 0, Rotherham 1, Peterborough 1, Shrewsbury 0, Crawley 0, Wycombe 1, Stockport 0. Southampton throw left wing position. They're taking an age to take it. League 2 half times. Accrington 0, Chesterfield 1, Bradford 0, Fleetwood 0, Bromley 2, Cheltenham 0 is the latest score as Southampton break towards the edge of the penalty area. Leicester will clear away through Ndidi. Carlisle 2, Salford 1 half time. Colchester 0, Barrow 0, Crewe 0, Walsall 0, Grimsby 0, Wimbledon 0, Morecambe 1, Harrogate 2, Newport 1, Tranmere 1, Notts County 0, Doncaster 2, Port Vale 0, Gillingham 0, Swindon 0, MK Dons 0. So what does that mean for the top end of League 2? Doncaster will win the title. Port Vale, already promoted, will finish second. Bradford will finish third by a point ahead of Walsall in fourth, then Notts County in fifth, Wimbledon in sixth, and Chesterfield moving above Salford into that final playoff position, above Salford and above Grimsby into that final playoff spot. But it could all change in the second half, and of course Adrian Durham will keep you up to date as well around the grounds around the country on Talksport. We're just waiting really at this point. Matt Murray, we've got about 2.5 minutes of first half added time to go. Feels like just waiting for the whistle at this point.
Yeah, it feels like Southampton are just waiting for the end of the game, if I'm honest. Leicester City players will be out there thinking, right, we haven't scored many goals in front of our fans recently, there's more goals for us here, can we get Jamie Vardy into a situation? But I'm sure Simon Russ will be wanting to get this team in. Hope there's changes at half time, hopefully to the system but also to personnel, and just show some energy and some urgency.
Southampton with Manning, there's been precious little energy and urgency from Southampton so far. Gaps in the away section. I assume they've gone to the concourse areas rather than leaving the ground at this stage, but wouldn't necessarily blame them. Just a couple of minutes of normal time out of injury time to go. 2-0 Leicester. Ball floated over the top to Walker-Peters. He's collected that well in the area. The angle is very tight. He's going to have to cross or pull it back maybe for Mateus Fernandes to take one touch and then drill it towards goal, and it's hit Ollie Skip and gone behind for a Southampton corner.
Bit better. At least they've got in now. I thought maybe once Fernandes took that touch, you'd then just actually have a shot hard and low across into bodies. But it'd be interesting now if Southampton can get something. They have had one attempt from a corner that will count as probably their only shot on target. But yeah, if they got a goal now, it would make it interesting. Maybe make these fans a little edgy, but they don't really deserve it.
And Manning will take the corner. I mean, you never know. As the sun threatens to come out here at the King Power, Manning delivers left-footed into the 6-yard box, and that's an easy header away by Connor Cody, the former Wolves man. Now it's dropped to Walker-Peters, just in front of the centre circle. He's sent the ball crossfield towards the right, header away by Thomas this time. So Southampton will stay on 11 points, the joint worst team in Premier League history. Derby County picked up 11 in 2007-2008, and you can't see Southampton turning this one around.
And I don't see, you said their fixtures, I don't see where...
There won't be another point.
Yeah, I actually don't see where that point comes from, and it's not a nice thing. You don't want a relegation on your CV, but to be known as the joint worst, that hurts. It hurts, it really does.
Forward by Manning and an overhit pass. Stewart has had nothing to feed off at all in the first half, Ross Stewart, and they're really angry and upset now, the Southampton fans, and you can understand that. They were definitely with the team early on, but as the performance has deteriorated, Leicester have scored twice. We've now had the last of the 12 minutes of added time, and applause from the Leicester supporters, loud boos from the away fans. It is 2-0 to Leicester at the break. Jamie Vardy up to 199 Leicester City goals now, with a great finish from Bilal El Khanousi's pullback, and then Jordan Ayew on the rebound after his initial effort from a free kick was blocked by the wall. He then drilled the second strike, fizzing it low into the corner beyond Aaron Ramsdale. 2-0 to Leicester. Matt Murray, and well, they're very comfortable. It looks like they're going to pick up a fifth victory of the season.
So comfortable. They really are, and it needed that goal. It was a pretty I don't know, it was quite a slow game till then, and then they got that goal with that real quality, that burst down the left-hand side, and the movement from Vardy and the way he meets it on the half volley was fantastic, and you see how much he enjoyed it. You can see how much these fans enjoyed it, and they celebrated that 199 times now, and what a player. And then that stoppage in play, we thought which team would react. Maybe is that going to work in Southampton's favour? No, it didn't. It was an unfortunate incident with the referee, but credit Leicester. They kept going. It's a soft free kick from a Southampton point of view, but when it comes back off the wall, and Ayew, again, they're really, really good quality goals. They hit that half volley hard and low, but Southampton not done enough for me. Need to move the ball quicker, need to press quicker, need a bit more variety in what they're doing, and they just look like a team that just look dead, dead and buried. They look beaten, and Simon Rusk, he's got every right to get into them. I really think he should. What are you doing, lads? Show some pride. Show that big allegation, that big travelling support. And I'd be getting, the likes of Cameron Archer, maybe Will Smallbone, people like that, get them warmed up and just try and get some life into this game.
Okay, Matt Murray, thanks very much indeed for now. Former Wolves goalkeeper Matt Murray with us here on Talksport 2. Let's look ahead to this weekend's Premier League action with Sky Sports.
Stay ahead of the game on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. Stream the Sky Sports Big Weekend with Premier League action and the WSL Manchester Derby, available with no contract on now. Search Now Sports, 18+, stream via internet, terms apply.
And so it's Arsenal against Bournemouth in the 5:30 kickoff in the Premier League. James Fielden will be watching for Talksport. James, a very good afternoon to you.
Hello, Joe. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks. And when you look at this game, I mean, for Arsenal, obviously the priority is the second leg of the Champions League in Paris next week. So are we expecting a weakened team selected by Mikel Arteta? Sometimes it's a difficult balance to strike, isn't it, for a manager?
I think you'd expect so, but at the same time, if you look at the bench they had against Paris Saint-Germain in the week, there were quite a few youngsters on there that you wouldn't necessarily expect to come in. I think Ethan Nwaneri's almost certainly going to come in and get a game in this one. You've got the likes of Zinchenko, White and Tierney and Raheem Sterling as well, who was an unused substitute. But Arsenal actually have a really good record after European matches. They really navigate them well. They've only lost one of the last 35 games following a European match. That was against Villa in April of last year. So Mikel Arteta knows how to strike the right balance. But of course, they have got that extra day in essence because the next leg against Paris Saint-Germain is on Wednesday. So not coming around on Tuesday so quickly, but obviously have to be mindful of it at the same time.
And just a quick word on Bournemouth, James. I mean, they dropped 2 precious points, didn't they, late on against Manchester United?
Yeah, that was really hard for them. I've seen Bournemouth quite a lot in the last couple of months, and especially against the historically big sides, let's include Manchester United in that they seem to attack those teams with real energy. I saw them against Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I saw them against Manchester City in the FA Cup a couple of weeks ago as well. But they seem to run out of steam and, they go after teams, really get in their faces and make it really uncomfortable, as they did for Spurs. 2-0 up they were at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but ultimately threw that one away. And I think they've just got to try and find a way here today to maybe conserve some of that energy to make sure they're not out of it at half-time and can still go in the second half, because that has been a concern for me in recent weeks.
Good stuff, James. Thanks very much indeed. It's Arsenal against Bournemouth. We'll have updates on the game over on Talksport from 5:30. That was a look ahead to this afternoon's Premier League action with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now, like Arsenal against Bournemouth live today. Search Now Sports.
Stay ahead of the game on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. Stream the Sky Sports Big Weekend with the F1 Miami Grand Prix and Super League's Magic Weekend, available with no contract on now. Search Now Sports, 18+, stream via internet, terms apply.
Well, we'll keep you up to date with all the very latest from around the grounds around the country. Final day in Leagues 1 and 2. We'll remind you of what happened earlier on a frenetic and chaotic final day in the Championship here on Talksport 2 in just a few moments as well. And of course, the second half of Leicester 2, Southampton 0 comes shortly.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the English Football League.
Game day exclusive on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. Stream the Sky Sports Big Weekend with Premier League action and the WSL Manchester Derby, available with no contract on now. Search Now Sports, 18+, stream via internet, terms apply.
We all fantasize about our perfect home, sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
A Minecraft movie has arrived at McDonald's Happy Meal. Help your little ones build their own adventure. Explore the overworld and meet exciting new friends. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 6th of May from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. While stocks last, their ordering policy applies. See mcdonalds.co.uk/Happy Meal.
You don't just check in to a village hotel. You work out. You jump in. You play on. You tuck in and drink up. Village Hotels. 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub and grill with delicious food, ice-cold beers and live sport. Check out villagehotels.com and work out, stay, meet and play.
The season is shaping up, and whether they're going for glory or going down, it's all to play for. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out Goals! With the best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals! And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals! Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday, only in the Sun.
Screwfix Sprint delivers from store to door in as little as 20 minutes. So don't get stuck behind a sea of brake lights that grinds your day to a halt. Why waste your time when we can zip to you and you can stay on your job? Screwfix Sprint cuts through the congestion to get you what you need fast. More time working, less traffic frustration. Screwfix Sprint, delivering in as little as 20 minutes. Just $4.99 and only on the app. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply. Selected products.
The best seat in the house is no longer in the house. It's outside with the sound of birds chirping overhead. The best table isn't in the house either. Or pillow, or outdoor lighting, or sun lounger. But you knew that already. Visit IKEA online or in store to level up your outdoors this summer. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Game day exclusive on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Making a move or planning a clear out with vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, we've got a van.
The PGA Tour, the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, live on Talksport 2. Tonight from 9:30. Of the world's golfing elite go head-to-head at the TCP Craig Ranch. Hear full swing-by-pitch by pod commentary of all the hole-in-one action direct from McKinney, Texas. See that drive? That was a hyperdrive. The PGA Tour, the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. Tonight from 9:30, live on Talksport 2. I've got a great feeling about this putt.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the EFL.
Leicester 2, Southampton 0 in our Premier League commentary half-time here at the King Power Stadium. Earlier we had the final day in the Championship, and what a final day it was. If you missed the drama, where were you? Here's a reminder of how it all went down on Talksport 2.
Sakamoto up against Dilling Jr. Gets the cross in left-footed. Radoni! Coventry lead! Now Middlesbrough have got it all to do. Radoni!
Check this! Bristol City 0, Preston 2. Osmajic has scored.
Matt Crooks. A victory will keep the Tigers in the Championship. It's Portsmouth 0, Hull City 1.
And suddenly Blackburn's playoff hopes are eclipsed. They're going to have to score again. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1.
Bristol City 2, Preston 2. Ross McCrory at their double. City have got themselves a playoff lifeline.
Well, Hull nerves are jangling once again because it's Portsmouth 1, Hull 1.
Bursting into the area, rolls it across for Radoni! That's the playoffs for Coventry City.
The Hull City fans celebrate. It's a last day relegation great escape.
So Hull City survive, and Luton Town are going to be relegated.
Yes, and Josh Brownhill, just as you join me, has scored Burnley's third goal.
Leeds have scored at home park. They're going to win the title. They're going to win the title right at the end of it all.
What a day in the Championship. So just to recap, Hull survive on goal difference after that draw at Portsmouth. Preston, Derby, Stoke, Oxford were all in danger. They all stay up. Luton go down on goal difference after losing 5-3 at West Bromwich Albion. Plymouth and Cardiff back to League One with them. Coventry and Bristol City joining Sheffield United and Sunderland in the playoffs. The start of the playoffs from next Thursday, all live across the network. Leeds and Burnley both won, both end up on 100 points. Leeds take the title on goal difference. Lots more to come over the course of the afternoon. Second half commentary from the King Power coming up. It is Leicester 2, Southampton 0 at the break on Talksport 2.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the EFL.
Game day exclusive with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has all the vehicles your business needs, with the flexibility to rent for minutes or months.
The best seat in the house is no longer in the house. It's outside with the sound of birds chirping overhead. The best table isn't in the house either, or pillow, or outdoor lighting, or sun lounger. But you knew that already. Visit IKEA online or in store to level up your outdoors this summer. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Screwfix Sprint delivers from store to door in as little as 20 minutes. You've finally found that perfect parking spot and you're ready to start work. But wait, you need a replacement part that's not in your van. Don't sweat it and don't move the van. Get moving on your job and we'll sprint over with exactly what you need before you can say, where's my spirit level? Screwfix Sprint delivers in as little as 20 minutes. Only $4.99 and only on the app. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply. Selected products.
The season is shaping up, and whether they're going for glory or going down, it's all to play for. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With the best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals. And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday, only in the Sun.
A Minecraft movie has arrived in McDonald's Happy Meal. Help your little ones build their own adventure. Explore the overworld and meet exciting new friends. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 6th of May from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. While stocks last, fair ordering policy applies. See mcdonalds.co.uk/Happy Meal.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
You don't just check in to a village hotel. You work out. You jump in. You play on. You tuck in. And drink up. Village Hotels. 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub and grill with delicious food, ice-cold beers and live sport. Check out villagehotels.com and work out, stay, meet and play.
Game day exclusive on Talksport 2 with Sky Sports. Stream the Sky Sports big weekend with the F1 Miami Grand Prix and Super League's Magic Weekend. Available with no contract on now. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the English Football League.
We are back on Talksport 2 for the second half of Leicester City against Southampton. The Saints have made a double change at half-time. Dibbling and Onuachu for Stevens and Stewart. And the second half is about to restart. Jamie Vardy will have to have a second go at kicking the game off. Leicester lead 2-0. Jamie Vardy and Jordan Ayew the scorers, and we are back off and underway. Work for Southampton to do if they are to move above that horrible tally of 11 points and the joint worst team in the Premier League, in the history of the Premier League, along with Derby County. But Leicester, good value for the 2-0 lead. Matt Murray, former Wolves goalkeeper, alongside me, Joe Shannon, this afternoon. And you fancy Leicester to go on and add to it, Matt?
You do, but what we said going into half-time, will Southampton change personnel? They have. Will they change formation? It looks like they've gone to a back four with and with them taking Stevens off. So Diblin, he'll get on it, he'll run, he'll drive. And Onuachu's still Onuachu's like that target guy, but Diblin is the one who can give them something.
A long throw from Thomas into the penalty area. Onuachu, the giant striker, climbs to head clear. He was a slight injury doubt coming into this game, but has managed to make it. Back in by Thomas via deflection high into the penalty area. It's headed away again by Southampton. This time Taylor Harwood-Bellis was in the way. We had a long stoppage, a long delay at the end of the first half because of an injury to the referee. Ironically, David Webb going off and his place taken by the fourth official, Sam Barrett. Leicester, though, starting the second half like they mean to go on as Skip crosses to the back post towards McAteer, and that is headed behind by Ryan Manning. And Leicester City have got their fourth corner of the game so far. I'll recap the two sides for you. Leicester, Stelarczyk in goal, Justin, Fass, Cody and Thomas, Ndidi and Skip, McAteer, El Khanous and Ayew behind Vardy. And I'll give you the Southampton team in full with those two changes in just a moment. You're listening to Talksport 2. We'll give you all the goals as they go in from the final day in Leagues 1 and 2 as well. Already quite a few have gone in the second half, and I'll update you on those in just a few moments. Of course, we're a long way behind everybody else because of the delay that we had in the first period. Ayew from the dead ball line whips in the cross. We're only 2 minutes into the second half and headed back in by Ndidi for Leicester. El Khanous jumping as well. Suddenly it's bright blue sky and sunshine here in the East Midlands as Fernandes wins Southampton a free kick. So the Southampton team, Ramsdale in goal, Walker-Peters, Harwood-Bellis, Bednarek and Manning, Downs, Ugachukwu and Dibbling, Sulemana, Fernandes and Onuachu up front. I mean, you have to feel for Ross Stewart, Matt, because he got no change whatsoever in that first half, did he?
Isolated, no service, yeah, really, really difficult. And he's had, some injuries and stuff since he's come in. He's been looking for this run and trying to get a rhythm, but yeah, absolutely feeding off scraps. And the way Leicester City have come out, maybe Ruud van Nistelrooy said to them, look, you're going to get a reaction from Southampton, so get after them straight away. And it's certainly Leicester that have made the brighter start to this second half, already forcing that corner and not seeing much change in the Southampton approach yet. But I'm not surprised that he has gone to his bench because lacklustre, just no tempo. And there needs to be so much more from Southampton.
Well, I think they've all come back for the second half, the Southampton supporters, but you wouldn't have blamed them had they left at half-time. Wout Fass will hammer the ball upfield for Leicester City, and the ball drops neatly down for Jan Bednarek. The Leicester City substitutes: Okoli, Christensen, Daka, Sumari, Koulibaly, Everson, and the youngsters Golding, Evans and Jeremy Monga, who everybody's been talking about in these parts. And for Southampton, the remaining subs: McCarthy, Aribo, Smallbone, Bree, Wood, Archer and Jay Robinson. Here comes Southampton with Ugachukwu, slips in Sulemana down the inside left. He can pull it back across, and it is back into the gloves of Stelarczyk via a touch of the deflection off Connor Cody. Nobody really made that near post run.
Exactly that. So Sulemana makes this run, and I'd be thinking, come on, bust a gut to get up with him. And they didn't do that at all. It was really, really shame. Like, you look at Leicester, when they get in those areas, they've got players to pull back to and score two obviously scored a one goal from it, had the other one El Khanous. Whereas there was nobody up with Sulemana. It was really, really surprising because I think Onuachu could have made the box, at least got closer to him.
Leicester 2, Southampton 0. That would take Leicester up to 21 points with 3 games left. Southampton still marooned at the bottom on 11, and actually defeat would absolutely guarantee Southampton finish bottom of the table this season, though I don't think anybody would have been expecting anything else. They would be the third time the Saints have finished bottom of the Premier League. Only Sunderland have a similar record. Tranmere 2-1 up at Newport County in League 2. Shrewsbury down to 10 men 0. Crawley 1. Leyton Orient 3-1 up at Huddersfield. So Orient really are taking a vice-like grip on that final playoff place in League 1. There are no last-day nerves for Leyton Orient, barring an incredible Reading victory over Barnsley. They'd have to score over 10, and they're actually 1-0 down. Reading 0, Barnsley 1. Lincoln 0, Wrexham 1 is the latest score. Wrexham promoted yet again this season. St Johnstone 0, Kilmarnock 2. As McAteer's run in field is checked by Ugachukwu, who's won it back. Dundee United have a goal away at Hibs, but they're 2-1 down. Charlton 3-1 up against Burton Albion. Grimsby 0, Wimbledon 1. So that really cements Wimbledon's spot in the playoff positions in League Two, and Grimsby well adrift now of the top 7. 2 points adrift. They need a turnaround, do Grimsby. Blackpool 2, Bristol Rovers 1, Ross County 1, Hearts 2, Shrewsbury 0, Crawley 2 this time. Bromley have got a third against Cheltenham. Port Vale 0, Gillingham 1. Port Vale already promoted anyway. Barnsley have got a second at Reading, who are going to miss out on the League One playoffs. And at Lincoln 0, Wrexham 2. You are up to date in the second halves of the matches in Leagues 1 and 2. They are about 15 minutes ahead of us. We're only 6.5 minutes into the second half at Leicester, who leads Southampton 2-0 on Talksport 2. And Leicester now with Justin looking to burst over halfway. He's fouled by Sulemana, and that'll be a yellow card. We've got a new fourth official, by the way, Matt Murray, for the second half. It's Akil Howson, who is local to the area, so he's taken over fourth official duties. And I think if you're the match referee on the field, this has been an easy day, hasn't it, really?
It has, and again, I think that's a yellow card. You can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I think you haven't really, apart from the incident with David Webb, we haven't had to talk about them. We think they've got everything right, as you say, because his tempo's maybe not been that high. But for this, Akil, did you say?
Akil Howson.
Yeah, it's one of them. What are you doing on your bank holiday? You're not down the pub, are you, mate? Oh, why is that? Do you fancy coming to the... It must be a strange call when it comes in.
Wasn't expecting that at the start of the day, was he?
Yeah.
And here he is, standing on the touchline between Ruud van Nistelrooy and Simon Rusk. Southampton already look a beaten side, and we've still got well over 35 minutes to go. Feels more a question of, can Leicester get Vardy that 200th goal? El Khanous, left corner of the penalty area, wriggles into the box and curls the ball not far over the top. Nice piece of play by El Khanous.
He's good, isn't he? He's been lively, he's making things happen. You can feel when the ball comes to him, that little bit of expectation. He's rightly so, he's got his confidence up after that really good assist, and he can wriggle and turn. It's a lovely little Megs on how Bellis and the way he sort of squeezes it through, and then you can see what he's trying to do. Great little bit of skill to whip it in.
Here's a big goal for you, Matt Murray, in League 2. Crewe Alexandra 0, Walsall 1.
God, the Saddlers.
That
is it,
takes
Taylor
Walsall.
Allen?
George Hall has scored. And that takes Walsall, without a win in 13 league games coming into today, into that third and final automatic promotion spot above Bradford City. Bradford 0, Fleetwood 0 is the latest score. So if Bradford were to score, then they would go up. They know that if they win, they're promoted. But it's 0-0 at Valley Parade, and Walsall taking advantage. They lead at Crewe, and it's Walsall who are going up. Would you believe it?
Look, and they've certainly made their fans sweat. But Matt Sadler has done a really, really good job there. From where he's taken them to what they're doing, and with Bradford's budget and everything else, but there's still going to be some more twists and turns. But what a huge goal. I'd love them to go up. I really would, Joe.
At the moment they are, but if Bradford score, then Bradford will retake third place. Dundee 1, Motherwell 1, equalised for Motherwell, and St Mirren lead Aberdeen 1-0. Out on the right-hand side for Southampton is Walker-Peters, and 9 minutes into the second half, and not really any discernible improvement from Southampton so far. Ugachukwu finds Onuachu back to goal, lays it out wide to Dibbling, who's got his socks rolled down to his ankles. Tiny shin pads, those. Gets it back from Flynn Downs. Dibbling out on the right. Forward to Walker-Peters, led with the edge of the penalty area, back to Downs, and it's all a bit sideways and backwards from Southampton, and the Saints fans vent their frustrations yet again. Sulemana's in, swinging delivery. Onuachu header, turned away, and then the rebound in, but the flag is up. Good save by Stelarczyk, and then it really hit Manuel Fernandez running onto it. I don't think he knew a lot about it. He was in an offside position. VAR will check it. At the moment, though, it's still 2-0 to Leicester. VAR is checking the goal, but I don't think any Southampton player, judging by the body language, expects this to stand.
Yeah, so the initial one is fine. The first header, no, he's definitely off. Yeah, he's well off. And look, if Onuachu's header, if that goes in, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Stolarczyk obviously makes a save, pushes it out, and look, you can't blame Fernandez following in like that. It sort of hits him, as you say, but thankfully it's a bit more agency. Cut inside, it's a beautiful cross. That in-swinging one is so hard. The goalkeeper can't come for it. Defenders are backing off towards their own goal. So from Sulemana, it was really good play and good quality, and maybe that might just be the little bit of encouragement Southampton need.
Well, Leicester have got a player down at the moment inside his own half of the field. In the Southampton half of the field. It's Jordan Ayew, who was involved in that accidental collision with the referee in the first period, who's gone to ground. And he is down at the moment. And he's slowly got up to his feet. The Saints are going to make a double change here. And you talked about Will Smallbone at half-time, Matt Murray, is somebody you can bring into the game who'll give it everything, and he's going to take to the field, as is a young Jay Robinson, 18 years of age. He signed a new contract a couple of weeks ago, and this is just his second senior appearance. And Sulemana coming off, I thought that was a bit surprising. It was a good ball in from Sulemana a few moments ago. I mean, he trudges off. It's not a happy camp here at Southampton. He barely acknowledged his manager, and now he's upset with Adam Lallana, who's on the coaching staff at the moment as well. I think he can't believe he's going off. And Manuel Fernandez going off as well for Smallbone, and there are boos for both of those changes from the Southampton fans.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting, is it? Because maybe some of those players might not be here next season. Just wants to change it up. But now they're saying you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, look, the ref, they know what, down there. They've made those decisions, and probably made the decision before that Sulemana cross went in. But he is I don't know. I think you've got, especially, Sulemana, he's an attacking player, you need to get back into it. And so look, it's always nice to see the young players get their opportunity, and it's difficult for the likes of Robinson to come into this sort of game, but I'd expect to see Cameron Archer now as well. He's a proven, in a championship, a proven goal scorer, but he gives you that threat. You still don't feel there's anyone to really, really play on the shoulder for Southampton.
Carlisle 2, Salford 2. Salford have come from 2 down, but there's still a point outside the playoff places. At the moment, in League 2, Doncaster, Port Vale and Walsall going up automatically. Walsall taking third spot ahead of Bradford City, who know if they score, they'll go third. Bradford 0, Fleetwood 0 it remains. Bradford, Wimbledon, Notts County and Chesterfield in the playoffs. Salford, Grimsby and Colchester, who were always outsiders, are going to miss out. Bolton 1, Stevenage 0, Rotherham 2, Peterborough 1. Headed down by Walker Peters. Risky header. Vardy nearly intercepted it in front of Harwood Bellis. He fouls Harwood Bellis. Free kick to Southampton. It's been quite a good atmosphere among the Leicester fans. They've waited so long. First Premier League home goals of 2025 after 9 straight Premier League defeats without scoring. I don't think there'll be an issue for them today in terms of winning the game. We've still got over half an hour to go, but you can't see Southampton getting back into it.
Not at all. I just don't. Not at the moment, no. I obviously had that one header, which was a good cross, a good header. But with those changes there as well, I'm not sure they're that offensive.
They changed the shape again, Matt. Is it a 4-2-3-1? Maybe looking at it.
Yeah, and trying to get some sort of contacts and pressure higher up, but it's still, I don't know. Smallbones there is releasing, but Leicester still are quite comfortable keeping the ball and beating the press of Southampton again.
This is a Leicester side that have lost 11 of their last 12, not one since January. And racing forward is Justin. He's carried it 40 yards, lays it square into the edge of the penalty area. Now El Kanous in the box. Thomas takes over, shoots, deflected away. It'll drop to McAteer, trying to work the ball onto his left foot in the penalty area. He's blocked off, then indeed he threatens to win it back. Ryan Manning trying to shepherd the ball out of play, and he has done. Signals the assistant referee. James Justin there, he's gone from the right back spot basically to the edge of the penalty area.
And that was a bit like, okay, Southampton are trying to press high, but if you go, you've got to all go together. And then that one pass took out that about three Southampton players, and Justin, as you said, marauded forward. But it was that way that he ran past, I think it was Okachukwu, so easily. That was the bit. that will disappoint any Southampton fans. You can't just run past him like that and then you say right to the edge of the box, but too easy in the end to carry the ball that far.
An hour gone and it's 2-0 to Leicester, fouled by Smallbone on McAteer. Newport County 1, Tranmere Rovers 3 is the latest score. Newport are down to 10 men in that game. Cambridge 1, Birmingham 1, but Cambridge are down to 10 men. Reading have got a goal back at home to Barnsley, but they still trail 2-1. And Leyton Orient are 3-1 up at Huddersfield, so Orient are going to take that final playoff spot in League One. All of the playoff action live across the Talksport network. Monday Night Football, Palace against Forest here on Talksport 2 coming up. Super League commentaries, Hull KR against Salford and St Helens against Leeds as part of the Magic Weekend, the Bank Holiday Weekend. Ramsdale for Southampton finds Bednarek and now Manning. You fear for Southampton against Manchester City, who have picked up a bit next week at St Mary's. Everton will have that final game again at Goodison, and Arsenal on the final day.
Yeah, exactly that. So Everton are going to want to put a show on. If Southampton sit off Man City like this, like they have been this passive for a lot of it, I'm 6-7.
Yeah,
honestly,
then Arsenal final day. It depends what Arsenal are doing, I guess, in the Champions League, but
again,
they won't get another point.
No, I really, and I can see them getting some absolute hammering. So. Because you don't get any confidence from this sort of performance either, any sort of belief, and as I say, make that change. Get the manager named at least in the next week or two, just to...
Does that give players an impetus to try and...
Yeah, because you know they're looking at you, and it also gives the fans a lift, it gives people a lift. They can start already with the recruitment, because that was the other thing. I think too many Luton players stayed from the relegation, and it's how many of these Southampton players are going to stay, how many are going to go, how many Leicester players are going to stay, how many are going to go. Because if you've got too much of a negativity, I think when you have to freshen the group up a little. That's just the way I think you should do it.
Leicester 2, Southampton 0 after 62 minutes. The delay in the first half is why we're still relatively early in the second period. A 12-minute stoppage because of an injury to the referee. On the day that in the Championship, Hull survive on goal difference, Luton go down with Plymouth and Cardiff. Coventry and Bristol City join Sunderland and Sheffield United in the playoffs. Leeds win the title. El Khanous into the area with a deflected curling shot, headed away by Ryan Manning for Southampton, and he quickly finds Onuachu, who is totally isolated up on his own. Justin fouls Onuachu. He did well there, the big front man, to hold it up because he didn't have a lime green shirt anywhere near him. They're in the change kit today, Southampton, lime green and dark shorts with lime green socks from right to left, and Leicester from left to right, all in royal blue, and sun is shining now. And I tell you what, they're in great voice, the Southampton fans, and they have been for several minutes now.
Huge club, and obviously not that long ago they were celebrating winning in the playoffs, and there's, and now they've had a really tough season, but they're there. They haven't left. They're standing up, they're singing, they're supporting their team. So look, it is a huge club, and I'm sure they will do a lot of good stuff next season, but these players owe them something. And I've had managers like Mick McCarthy walk in the dressing room and tell us when we haven't performed for our fans.
Equaliser for Stockport at Wycombe 1-1. I'll tell you what that means for the playoff picture in a moment in terms of who plays who. Southampton coming forward with Dibbling, he's tripped and that's a free kick. So there's Stockport into third, Wycombe fourth, Charlton fifth. We knew all those three were going to be in the playoffs. And Leyton Orient sixth. They're 3-1 up at Huddersfield. So it would mean Stockport playing Orient and Wycombe against Charlton in the League One playoffs as it stands. If Wycombe were to go back in front, then they'd go back into third and they'd play Orient and Stockport would play Charlton. But at the moment, that's not going to happen. Free kick Southampton midway into the Leicester half. Can they get a goal back? Can they make a game of it?
Yeah, dangerous position this. Smallbone's got a good delivery usually.
Right of centre, here it comes. It's not bad, headed away by Fass, and the Southampton man, Harwood Bellis, went down in the area, repeating for a penalty. Corners the decision of Sam Barrett now, the referee.
Yeah, do you think this will be getting checked in VAR?
Be interesting. Let's see it again on our monitor, Matt.
Yeah, because you can see Harwood Bellis seems adamant. You talk about player reactions and all the other ones where they haven't really had a shout that much. He's got a run. He's definitely held him and got on him. Was that Cody pulling at him?
Well, I wonder whether VAR is checking it. The referee's pointed to his ear there, and it's over. It is a corner.
On-field decision, yeah. There's definitely... I don't think if it's the other way, though. If he gave it, I don't think he'd overturn it. I think it's one of them where with that high bar and all that stuff. But, yeah, better though from... Oh, wow, and what's gone on now in the middle?
Down goes McAteer amid a flurry of players in the 6-yard box. And there's a yellow card out of the pocket of the referee, I think for Flynn Downs.
Oh, not for Uga Chukwu, no, is it?
I thought it was in the direction of Downs, but you might be right, it might be Uga Chukwu. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
You're right. He's just leaned into him with the arm, elbow into the stomach almost. Yeah, well spotted, Matt. It is Uga Chukwu who has been booked.
Yeah, I think it was Downs sort of pulling him away, but yeah, they're right, because it was off the ball, wasn't it? I'm looking there and I just saw that little incident, and he just glanced back, but
strange.
Yeah,
Uga Chukwu yellow carded, and now the referee's going to have a word with him just to hammer home the point.
Yeah, I think some of that can be from a little bit with a height difference as well. So you just go to
jostle somebody,
but your arm, because he's a big unit, and he's put that arm and just caught him. So I think that's good refereeing. It's not a red card for me, but you have to be careful when you catch someone like that.
Well, Ayu's going to go mark him now instead. Quarter to Southampton in front of the away fans. Sunshine in the penalty area to the left. Jakub Stolarczyk and Leicester would like a very rare clean sheet. Whipped in by Manning, high to the back post. Uga Chukwu was among the Southampton players going for it, and goal kick is given. It's Leicester 2, Southampton 0 on Talksport 2 is Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now, like Arsenal against Bournemouth live today. Search Now Sports. Blackpool 3, Bristol Rovers 1 and Bolton 1, Stevenage 1. The latest scores in League One. The key issue in League One that was going to be settled today was that final playoff place, and Leyton Orient's going to get there ahead of Reading. League Two, it's still very much all to play for. Walsall into third spot, still leading away at Crewe by a goal to nil. Bradford could pip them if they can score at home to Fleetwood, but it's still goalless at Valley Parade. Wimbledon, Notts County and Chesterfield are in the playoffs. Now remember, those matches are around about 10-15 minutes ahead of us, so we'll keep you up to date with all the full times. What a day it's been in the EFL. The final day is always great. And Justin takes a throw for Leicester, who are 2-0 up in the Premier League here against Southampton, heading for their 28th defeat of the season in the league. Tyler Dibbling shy of halfway. He's turning back towards his own goal. Bednarek across to Harwood Bellis. Southampton try to build from the back, and Downs is beaten to it by the sliding challenge of Skip. That might be a yellow card for that foul, and it is.
Yeah, no complaints again.
Didn't get the ball, did he?
No, and he's brought him down, he'd return in and he'd have beaten that press, but...
There's something there, isn't there, from Southampton, Matt? A bit of huff and puff, maybe?
Yeah, and that was at least there. They've sort of laid a glove on them now, haven't they? They had the obviously there's been a disallowed goal, the corner that they forced, and they've got into a few sort of one free kick in a dangerous area. So yeah, it's been better, and it should do. They spent money, by the way. It's not like they came down and went up and didn't have a go. They got some players on here that big wages, decent fees, and. They should have done a lot better. And I'm surprised that all three newly promoted sides were relegated so quickly and had such a difficult time.
Well, Leicester City are going to make a change here and take off Jordan Ayew, and it is a young man that everybody has high expectations for. 15-year-old Jeremy Monga, who comes on for his 4th Premier League appearance. All of those have been substitute appearances. How good is this young lad? And he is a young lad, Matt Murray.
Well, the fact that he can't even have the sponsorship on his shirt because of his age, he has to have a blank front on his shirt, shows you. And look, he's really highly rated. You've heard people talk about him for so long, and now Ruud van Nistelrooy, he's given him the 4th time now that he's brought him on, and it's... You'd love a goal. You'd love a Vardy goal or a Monga goal, and fair play to him. He's training with this squad all the time. He is here by right, and this is one you want to look for positives in a season, and everyone's really excited now to see him in the Championship as well.
A lot's been written about him. Leicester played well today. 20 minutes to go, they're 2-0 up. It would be a first home win since the 3rd of December. And there hasn't been much to cheer about this season. They might do the double over Southampton. Monga first touch. inside right channel, wearing number 93. And now the ball is at the feet of Skip with the bright orange boots on, gets away from Downs. That seems to have given Leicester a bit of extra energy, I think, that substitution.
It does, and they'll be wanting to get the ball to the young man. They'd love him to score. They'll look after him as well. But when he gets it, he is good. They'll train with this lad every week, and they'll know they can give it him every day, and he'll get at people.
Cody out to Monger on the right-hand side, and he's accelerating into the penalty area, taking on Manning, and he's won a corner. And the Leicester fans absolutely love that. 2-0 up, comfortable. They've got the big hope for the future, the young boy onto the pitch, and can they find a couple more goals before the end of the game?
And why not? But that was positive play from Jeremy Monger, and they had Will Alves here as well, who's gone on loan to Cardiff, but he had a nasty knee injury, so again they'll be looking to play him next season too, I'm sure.
The corner's going to be taken here by Bilal El Khanous from the right-hand side as we look at it. And it'll be out swinging, and it's not great into the near post, but it did reach Ndidi, I think, who had the last strike at goal, deflected behind. I'm amazed that reached Wilfred and Ndidi, but the touch on it takes it behind for another corner.
Yeah, it didn't look like the best corner, but as you say, it's gone all the way through, and he's met it first time, because he had the header as well, didn't even record it in the first half, and the ball seems to get to him, but yeah, it was a good block, because if that's just in the corner, they don't get it.
Stockport have turned it around to lead 2-1 at Wycombe Wanderers in League One. Oliver Skip will chip the ball into the box, and the initial effort is blocked, dinked in by Thomas, high to the back post. That was a really good ball, headed away by Onuachu, 6'8" on the stretch. Newport 1, Tranmere 4 is a latest score. And that Stockport goal away at Wycombe, again, pretty much confirmed that it'll be Stockport against Leyton Orient and Charlton against Wycombe in the League One playoffs. So those will be live across the Talksport network, every playoff game.
It's gone. Who's favourite in those League One playoffs? Charlton?
You'd have said Charlton with the momentum that they've got, but you never know, do you?
It's so hard,
you never know.
I think Stockport's a great, it shows you again, Stockport, Wrexham, those sort of teams, how they've been on that rise has been, but yeah, really hard to call. But I know Reading are going to miss out on the playoffs, but they got new owners.
They do, yep. Rob Couig. The takeover is going to happen finally. That's the big news today about Reading. They are 3-1 down at home to Barnsley, and actually credit Leyton Orient 4-1 up at Huddersfield. So Orient will get that last playoff spot, but I think for the Reading fans who've been through a lot, that new ownership, that'll feel like winning the league, let alone missing out on the playoffs. They won't really care. They'll be right up there next season, Reading, no doubt.
I agree. They can actually, sign some players. But it's just interesting here. You felt Southampton had that little rally, had that little go. If they'd have got the goal, then would have been interesting. But now it's back to Leicester, just playing a bit of keep ball. For me, these Southampton players are just walking and not really pressing.
Forward by El Khanous, floated ball up towards Jamie Vardy, who stayed on the pitch. 199 goals for Leicester City. Can he find one chance? They've got Ipswich at home, Bournemouth away, Forest away next. That's a big derby game for Leicester, that one. And actually Ipswich are level at Everton. It's 2-2. George Hurst, they've come from 2-0 down, Ipswich.
Well, that's good for them. And for Leicester, these Leicester fans will be saying, go and give Forest a beating. Stop their Champions League push.
Smallbone blocked off by Oliver Skip, and they've got the ball back again here. Leicester City had to time that well, Skip on a yellow card. 16 minutes plus added time to go. It is Leicester 2, Southampton 0. And for the latest odds, head to William Hill, Talksport 2's official Premier League betting partner. Right now, Leicester 1-25 to win, Southampton 70-1. The draw 16-1. That's all thanks to William Hill, 18 plus. Gambleaware.org. Mansfield 3, Exeter 0, and Hearts are 3-1 up now, away at Ross County. The ball is at the feet of Monger again, jinking infield away from Ryan Manning, playing it back to James Justin. It's the kind of performance and a result finally for Leicester and for Ruud van Nistelrooy that will give them a bit of hope going into next season. El Khanous is clattered down by Taylor Harwood-Bellis, yellow card. He doesn't even look back, Harwood-Bellis. He knows he's going to get booked. Free kick in a good position here, shooting position for Leicester.
Yes, again, free kick in a dangerous position, and last time it was Ayew who hit it, wasn't it, into the wall, came back, they got that goal. He's not. So it won't be him obviously this time. So it'll be interesting. You might get your Vardy free kick, Joe.
It's not the right angle though, is it, for Vardy? Because it's left-hand side, isn't it?
Okay, so
it's left-hand side. But he has gone over there. He has gone over there.
I honestly think if he did one of those little rollers and he just banged it, because he can strike the ball. But yeah, as you say, probably this might be the wrong way for him. But look, the only thing I say, Leicester can take so many positives from this.
He's going to hit this far. He's put it down right-footed as well.
There we go. He's suddenly become a free kick specialist just as he's leaving.
That's got the Leicester fans going.
Brilliant. And he's got a lot to aim for, because Ramsdale is showing him quite a lot if he can get this up and over.
25 yards out, left of centre. Jamie Vardy standing over it. Is this Jamie Vardy's big moment? Right-footed curler, turned away by Ramsdale, comes back to Vardy, racing onto it, and the referee eventually signals goal kick after the challenge. Some Leicester fans thought he'd given a penalty, which Vardy would have certainly been taking. In the end, it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, and Vardy didn't argue, because I didn't know for a minute. In the end, Ramsdale first, he moves his feet well, gets across, because he did show him quite a lot. Did it go through the wall, or because he shouldn't get through that easy? But then when Vardy went to challenge, I thought maybe they caught him, but nah, he didn't argue, did he? He didn't want the free kick. He didn't want to. Well, he'd have loved a penalty, but he realised it wasn't. But for a second, the way the ref pointed, did you think some of the fans thought it was
just for a moment?
Yeah.
Just for a moment.
And he'd gone back to his usual smash it, because he tried to place it against Wolves, didn't he? It was a strange penalty that he took. It's not his usual style, that wasn't. But a decent free kick there.
He'd be on 200 by now if that had gone in. As Stockport have got a third away at Wycombe to lead 3-1. Cambridge 1, Birmingham 2. Cambridge relegated back to League 2 this season. Birmingham going up with 111 points as Premier League champions. And 13 minutes left here. Leicester 2, Southampton 0. And, well, Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to have a rare clean sheet, a rare victory to celebrate. Here come Leicester on the attack. Southampton going to bring on Cameron Archer. Feels a little bit late for that, maybe, but it's going to happen. Harwood Bettis, right edge of his own area. And now the ball is carried forward by Downs. He's fouled. Free kick, Southampton in their right back position. Long journey back for the Saints supporters, bank holiday as well. I mean, that is football. You follow your team up and down the country, win, lose or draw, and there's not much consolation.
But they're all still there, aren't they?
They are all still there. Onuachu back to goal has held it up, and he's laid it out wide to Walker-Peters. Can they get the ball in with a bit of urgency? Walker-Peters to Dibbling, down the right-hand side near the corner flag. Shuffles infield onto the left foot, does dink in the cross. Onuachu the target, back post, and well, I'm not sure what he's thinking. Yeah, there's a bit on it, and he's tried to reach it, but he's just nodded it straight behind.
Yeah, didn't sort his feet for me there. But also I was watching, and there were two midfielders for Southampton just staying right out of the box while that play's building up. They weren't protecting anything. There were enough defenders back. Go and get bodies in the box, be on the move in the box as well. So yeah, a lot of work to do for whoever the new manager is here at Southampton.
Because you don't turn it around easily, do you, Matt, from 11 points and 2 wins?
Look, I can give examples of, like, when Wolves went down with no momentum. They struggled and they went down again. And it can happen, and that was a big club. And I know Luton
have gone down today.
But even clubs like, and let's be honest, Luton aren't seen as a club of this sort of size.
But Wolves, Southampton,
huge, and it can happen. And then also, Wolves finished last season with no momentum, and it took a change of manager to get Pereira in. And there's Aston Villa, Sunderland, too many teams have done this, but. Look, they're trying to get on the ball a bit. Robinson hasn't been able to get on the ball that much yet, has he? But they need some momentum. They need something.
Shrewsbury 1, Crawley 2. Shrewsbury down to 10 men, but they do have a goal back. Reading 1, Barnsley 4 in League 1. So with Leyton Orient 4-1 up, no doubt they will be heading into the League 1 playoffs. And well done to Richie Wellens and co at Leyton Orient. They were some way off it at the start of the year. They've had a great end to the season. Latest in League 2. Doncaster still 2-0 in front away from home at Notts County. So Doncaster are going to win the title. Port Vale trailed by a goal to nil at home to Gillingham, but they're up anyway, and they will finish second. Walsall still lead 1-0 at Crewe Alexandra. Walsall are going to go up as it stands under Matt Sadler, despite going 13 without a win in the league coming into today. They're 1-0 up at Crewe. Bradford 0, Fleetwood 0, but a goal for Bradford takes them into third. Good work by Monga down the Leicester right. El Canouse trying to raid beyond the defender Downsy, whips in the cross. It's skimmed off the boot of Dibbling, not a convincing clearance, loops up into the sky. Actually a lovely touch by Jay Robinson to nudge it wide to Manning under pressure. That was as silkiest a touch as any Southampton player's done today, and Skip fouls Manning. Got to be careful just on the League Two playoffs, Matt. So it'll be Bradford fourth as it stands, unless they get a goal against Fleetwood. If Bradford score, they'll move above Walsall into third, Wimbledon in fifth, Notts County in sixth, Chesterfield, who are still 1-0 up against Accrington, into seventh. That final playoff spot. Salford City still 2-2 at Carlisle. If Salford score, they will go above Chesterfield and into the playoff places.
Sorry, because I've lost a bit, disorientated with the timing here.
Yep.
How much roughly? They must be going to stop.
I think these games are heading into last couple of minutes plus added time, because we were a long way behind after that injury to the referee. We had 12 added minutes in the first half, so we're near the end of these games in Leagues 1 and 2. Blackpool 4, Bristol Rovers 1 in a game that doesn't mean a great deal in that division. 4-1 to Blackpool. Steve Bruce's Blackpool. Bristol Rovers already relegated.
Yeah.
That's a big club to go down.
I didn't expect that, because to be fair to their owners, they invested, they made some signings, and really didn't expect them to get sucked into. But again, shows you the job that Bowyer did at Burton. The fact that these clubs got.
That's why Bristol Rovers have gone down ultimately. As James Justin in the right back position for Leicester goes back to Connor Cody. 2-0 Leicester. And now Fass on the edge of the penalty area, finding Luke Thomas in the left back spot.
It's just there, sorry, but the Cameron Archer sets off the press too far behind Walker Peters was. You've got to all go together. Does that make sense?
Yep.
He's not,
because then you're easier to play through, right?
Yeah.
If only one or two go.
Yeah, so Archer goes, Dibbling goes.
Oh, here come Leicester now. El Canouse through the middle, Vardy to the left. El Canouse goes alone and rolls it wide. It was careless in the end, and he didn't just have Vardy forward, he had 15-year-old Monga to the right as well.
Yeah, and if he has every right to shoot there when it parts like that, because he's right down the middle. But when you do shoot, you've got to at least hit the target. He's under pressure from Smallbone, doesn't quite sort his feet. I thought he should have gone the other side of Ramsdale and just opened his body and killed it into the to Ramsdale's left. But central. I felt he was a bit straight on it. He needed to move the ball a little. But or just roll it off to the right, and Jeremy Mongo would have been coming on, striking it, and maybe getting his first goal. But a really good opportunity. But that's coming from Southampton not pressing as a unit. They're going in ones and twos and got picked off too easily.
There's going to be a triple change shortly for Leicester City. We'll get to that in a moment. Jay Robinson for Southampton plays it back to Manning, who tried a first-time shot, and that one is turned away. Leicester determined to try and keep a clean sheet in this game. There are 3 changes coming up now for Leicester City, and it's Jake Evans, another young man, wearing number 91 on the back of his shirt, who's going to come on. A big moment for him. Standing ovation for Casey McAteer, and a big pat on the back for Jake Evans from Ruud van Nistelrooy, and again a big cheer goes up for Evans. 16 years of age, the right-sided player, and it's a very generous cheer that he's got. And Vardy's going off as well, so Leicester will see Jamie Vardy again for one final home game against Ipswich Town still to come. But what a standing ovation he is going to get. Jamie Vardy now up to 199 goals in the Premier League for Leicester City. One more between now and the end of the season. Vardy goes off, he's replaced by Patson Daka, and the other change, El Canouse leaving the field, and on comes Soumare.
Yeah, these changes, and these subs will be coming on thinking that there's a goal for me on here, but quite rightly so. all those different players coming off get a good ovation, because they've been good, but no bigger than the one for Jamie Vardy. He is their hero.
Does he think, Matt, oh, could you leave me on for the last 5 minutes? I might get one chance in the game.
He will, all day. That's the sort of player he is. But in another way, you could probably Ruud van Nistelrooy, more maybe for the last game of the season, you'd have expected him to get that. But I think maybe he's just managing him, looking after him, saying, look, let's keep you fresh and go to the next one. This game is won, and let's see if he's just got to get that 200th goal. That's what I think most people in football
would love to see.
Yeah. Even though he's a bit of a pantomime villain at times, isn't he? But all in all, you look at his career, how he's got to where he's got to, what he's done, and he's just a lad who loves football, isn't he? And I'd like him to get that 200th goal.
Leicester's greatest ever player, still with another home game to come here against Ipswich, and Ipswich already down, of course. Leicester might fancy their chances in that game. Live Super League to come on Talksport 2. Hull KR against Salford and St Helens against Leeds. The Sunday session tomorrow on Talksport. Palace against Forest in the Premier League on Monday night over on Talksport, and next week all of the European second legs, the crucial matches in the Champions League, the Europa League and the Conference League, and the start of the playoffs as well. We know that Coventry and Bristol City join Sunderland and Sheffield United in those League One playoffs. And Northampton 1, Wigan 1, late equalised for Wigan. Motherwell win it 2-1 at Dundee Shorley with a late winner there. Hibs 3, Dundee United 1. And we're starting to get full times coming in from around the grounds around the country. As soon as we get them from the really big games in Leagues 1 and 2, we'll let you know. League 2 in particular, Walsall going up automatically at the moment. Bradford will drop into the playoffs. That's the really big story. Wimbledon, Notts County and Chesterfield joining them in the playoff places as it stands. We've still got 3.5 minutes plus added time here. Wilfred Ndidi serding down the inside right, and now Patson Daka slips on the edge of the penalty area, couldn't keep his footing. And Southampton maybe can break here with Manning. Over the halfway line he goes. Archer's made a decent direct run ahead of him. Manning turns back in field and tackled by Justin. Throw to Southampton. Has he given a free kick here or a throw? He's actually given a free kick, the referee.
Yeah, I think that's soft. Maybe an arm in the back, but I thought it was just going to be a throw-in. But yeah, he's given that. So again, a few of the big boys coming up from the back, and Manning's going to drop it in there. But there's still the service to the front men not really happened, and Stolarczyk won't have many quieter days in the Premier League in goal.
He certainly won't. Forward by Manning for Southampton. He'll need something special late on here. Remember, still on 11 points, the joint lowest total ever. Flicked by Onuachu, header away by Patson Daka, cleared by Monga upfield. Been a good performance from Leicester City. You can only beat what's in front of you, but it's I'm sure it's a relief for the Leicester fans more than anything,
and for the players to get those goals. It'll be a relief. And you don't want to equal that record of 10 without a goal at home and losing. So no, it's important that they got that performance. And like I said before, there will be players who are playing for their futures. So really, really important that they do that. But they'll believe they can get another goal.
A 15-year-old and a 16-year-old onto the pitch to end the game for Leicester, which is promising for them.
The academy will be very happy with that.
They certainly will. About 90 seconds of normal time left, nowhere near as much added time to come as in the first half. I think with the Vardy change, a lot of the Leicester fans are heading for the exits now. Leicester 2, Southampton 0. On Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whether you're on holiday or at home or away this summer, Enterprise has locations all over Europe and a vehicle that's just right for you. Free kick Southampton, Smallbone is going to take it, he's standing over it, right of centre, floats it into the box, high to the back post, headed back across by Harwood Bellis, headed behind by Ndidi. Confirmation that Leyton Orient will be in the League One playoffs. They have won 4-1 at Huddersfield, Reading 2, Barnsley 4, late goal back for Reading. Bradford City have taken the lead in League 2 against Fleetwood. Bradford 1, Fleetwood 0 in the very last moments, and that's going to take Bradford up automatically. Southampton corner in by Smallbone, punched away by Stolarczyk. That's what we're hearing. Bradford 1, Fleetwood 0, the latest of late goals at Valley Parade. Dibbling crosses for Southampton, headed by Downs in the penalty area. They still can't clear it yet, Leicester. They have now. So Bradford 1-0 up, and they are going to move above Walsall, and they are going to go up by a point. Heartbreak for Walsall and Matt Sadler, who will still be in the playoffs, but they thought they were going up automatically until Bradford intervened. 1-0.
What scenes there'll be there, what drama. And that's the football though, isn't it? And the emotions that you go through, and those Walsall fans now, well, that will be filtering through. And
tough for them,
but you've seen it, haven't you? I mean, you're too young to remember, but you remember with people with the wirelesses on their shoulders.
That's it. And checking the latest scores.
Yeah, and those dramas. I've been involved in it as a player when I was injured, and you're coming in and out the dressing room feeding the score. It's amazing for people to watch, but when you're on the right end of it, it's the best. When you're on the other end, honestly, it's so hard. So let's see what more drama unfolds.
4 minutes of added time to come here. Certainly no drama at the King Power Stadium, where Leicester lead 2-0. Notts County 1, Doncaster 2. But Doncaster are still going to win the title. I think that game's finished anyway. Doncaster the title winners, Port Vale second, Bradford up into third, Walsall have won, but it looks like it'll only be fourth for them. Wimbledon have beaten Grimsby, so Wimbledon fifth in League 2, Notts County in sixth, Chesterfield leading 1-0 in their game away in Accrington Stanley. That'll be enough to take them into that final playoff spot, because Salford City have been held away at Carlisle, relegated Carlisle 2-2. That game is finished. That Bradford goal, would you believe it, Matt, came in the 7th minute of added time. Anthony Sarcevic. That is unbelievable.
It is, and imagine if the board had gone up for 6 minutes of stoppage time, for example, and they played that. But look, it's minimum, isn't it? It's a minimum of, and that's why you keep playing, you do it. And as I say, those Bradford fans will remember that goal. They'll remember that feeling, and look, and they deserve their moment. I watched them earlier this season. Thousands of them at Port Vale, taking a whole away end, big club travel. They've had heartache too, so they deserve it.
Southampton attacking inside the penalty area. Onuachu can't get there. Southampton corner. Couple of minutes of added time to go. Is it full time at Bradford City? It is full time at Bradford City. They have done it. Bradford are promoted back to League One. Oh no, it is still going, I'm hearing. It is still going. It's not done yet. Different sources of information coming in at different times. It's still going at Bradford City. Corner which Manning will take for Southampton. Header by Onuachu, and it's wide. Via deflection into the side netting.
Difficult chance that, isn't it? You know, when you're coming away from goal, you try and head it back in, and I'm not sure who it came off, but again, it's a first contact, a good header. But yeah, I think the goalkeeper had it covered though. But yeah, I just still feel, you know, that Southampton, Manning's deliveries are decent, but they need to be doing more.
Manning will take it left-footed into the penalty area, headed away. 2-0 Leicester. Minute and 20 seconds to go. Leicester want to get another youngster, Michael Golding, onto the pitch, but they can't do it at the moment. They might be able to now, because good work by young Evans to block Manning's cross. Here comes Michael Golding, and off goes Oliver Skipp. They are still playing at Bradford, just to confirm. Bradford 1-0 up against Fleetwood, and Bradford City heading for promotion. Automatic promotion because of that 97th minute goal. It's still going on as Golding comes on for Leicester City. Bradford's goal scorer, Anthony Sarcevic, has been sent off for a second bookable offence.
Probably gone.
You just couldn't write it.
And the ref probably hated having to do that. He probably would have, but if he's taking his shirt off or he's done whatever, then. But there must have been some serious emotions there.
We're still waiting for confirmation of full-time there. It's nearly full-time here, and it's 2-0 to Leicester against Southampton. Small bones delivery blocked off by Daka. Leicester maybe on the counter. Daka could be clear. Racing down the right. Evans, the 16-year-old, is square. Daka looks up, tried to find him, took a deflection, and it has gone behind. He did try to find him, but all he could do in the end was win a corner.
Walker Peters has got his hands on his knees, thinking I've had a full-on sprint there.
And that is it. A rare victory for Leicester City. Yet another defeat for Southampton, who run a real risk now of being the joint worst team in Premier League history. Rooted to the bottom, the Saints. It is now confirmed that that is where they will finish. A measly 11 points from 35 games, and a performance that really sums up Southampton's season. Of course, Leicester's campaign has been pretty much equally as forgettable, but finally they have a first victory since beating Tottenham at the end of January, a first set of home goals in the Premier League since December, and the two in the first half enough to win it for them. Jamie Vardy and Jordan Ayew. Vardy now on 199 goals in a Leicester City shirt. Leicester 2, Southampton 0, and it was a cruise for Leicester, wasn't it, Matt Murray? You can't say that very often this season, but for Southampton, more of the same, and the away fans are not happy. Boos towards the few away players who are walking towards the away section.
And for me, they should all go over and they should applaud. And you have to take your medicine when you sometimes look, when you've been there and you got promoted and you've done your stuff where you had good wins, you go and see those fans. But when you've had a difficult time as well, then and they'll just feel that they needed to see more fight, more energy from their team, but there can be no complaints. Leicester City, you always felt the first goal in this game for these two fragile, both of these teams were very low on confidence. You felt that first goal was going to be so important, and Leicester City, once they got that with a real quality goal through Vardy, then there was that stoppage in play, but they grew, and even when they didn't have the ball, Leicester City, they controlled Southampton. Obviously an excellent strike from Ayew as well. But yeah, Southampton have made changes at half time. They changed their formation, they changed personnel, but there needs to be a lot of change here for me. And it's been a really, really difficult season. I don't see how they go and pick that last point up to at least break that record. But credit those Southampton fans; they are applauding still a lot of their players, and they've stayed right to the end. So, but yeah, Leicester definitely deserved it and very, very comfortable, as you said.
What about Jamie Vardy? He's only got one more home game to go, and he's applauding the Leicester City fans. How's he feeling at the moment? And it's absolutely right that he's going to be the last man to leave the pitch. He's going to take in that applause.
Yeah, he's going to take in that applause, and he got a great standing ovation when he came off. Of course, he'll have that little bittersweet because he should have been his 200th today if he hadn't missed a penalty last week. But maybe he's saving it for that Ipswich game, for his final one. And he took his goal really well. He looked a threat. A little bit of don't take me off, Gaffer. There'll be one more for me, but I can understand why they did. He's been a brilliant play here. But then, as much as it's great seeing Jamie Vardy come off, who for £1 million, and he's cost the club and he's done all these years here, seeing these young academy graduates coming on, that's been so pleasing as well. The likes of Jake Evans, obviously Jeremy Monga, Michael Golding, all of them. So yes, there's been a lot of negatives from this season, but the Jamie Vardy, if he gets 200, would be amazing. But seeing these young blood, coming through, that is a real positive, and another nice story from tonight.
And
today,
well, it is 2-0 to Leicester. That is how it has finished here. Let's pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the Match on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whether you're on holiday, at home or away this summer, Enterprise has locations all over Europe and a vehicle that's just right for you.
I don't know what's going on at Bradford City, by the way. Still waiting for confirmation of the full-time score there. They still lead 1-0 at home to Fleetwood and are heading up as it stands, albeit down to 10 men. Matt Murray, a man of the match today. I mean, it's got to be a Leicester City player. Do you look at El Khanous? Do you look at Jamie Vardy? I mean, the way that he took his goal, the way that he led the line in his late 30s, as he still continues to do.
Yeah, as I say, I'm going to give it to Jamie Vardy. El Khanous, I think if he'd have got that goal at the end when he went through one-on-one, he might have nicked it. I thought his assist was excellent, El Khanous, but Jamie Vardy, it's got to be just for the quality of the finish, the way he worked, and yeah, you got to get sucked into that moment as well. So I thought that it had to be a Leicester City player, as you say. I thought it was a really, really good team performance, but for that individual brilliance, that half volley finish, the way it set the tone of the game. So yeah, my man of the match is Jamie Vardy.
Well, you can't argue with it, can you? Jamie Vardy is our man of the match here on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.